The following program is an exclusive Disruption Networks production.
Thank you for your service, you're welcome. A comedy benefit show for our veterans. In support of the Central New York Veterans Outreach Center. On November 10th at Wakely's, 700 Varick Street, Utica, join Disruption Network as they team up with 92.7 FM The Drive for this night of laughter. The evening will be hosted by Genesee Joe from The Drive. Performances by Mike Ciccone, Paul Kozlowski, Cortland Kluse, Mike Pileggi, and DJ Ease One. Admission is by donation only. Please bring clothes, socks, gloves, non-perishable food items, or a small monetary donation. All donations will go to the Central New York Veterans Outreach Center. Saturday, November 10th at Wakely's on Varick Street. Doors open at 7 p.m. Show starts at 8 p.m. Thank you for your service is sponsored by The D, 92.7 FM The Drive, Paulie's Barbershop, NYE Volkswagen of Rome, Frank's Guns, and Central New York Seal Coating and Concrete.
So you just bought your dream home, and now it's time to move. Let's face it, nobody likes to move. All the packing, unpacking, lifting, upstairs, downstairs, and broking everything, including your back. Let the professionals at EJA Moving Company take all the stress and pain out of your move. Competitively priced moving, relocation services, office moves, and complete packing and unpacking services. They work with everybody to make it simple and easy for you to move and relocate. Call EJA Moving Company at 315-335-0516. When it's time to relocate, have EJA Moving do all the work for you. Hit them up online, ejamoving.com.
Hey, Disruption Network. This is Mike Sacco, the general manager at NYE Volkswagen of Rome. If you don't know me by name, it's only because you have not received the best deal. There's only one reason to leave Utica, and that's to come see me in Rome and get the best deal on your next new, pre-owned, or certified VW. Mention that you heard this ad from Disruption Network and receive $250 off your next vehicle purchase. You'll know why our customers say, I love my NYE VW. Come see us at 5865 Rome Taberg Road in Rome or visit us online at nyevwofrome.com.
The Property Sisters of the Mohawk Valley was born when three top producing agents with over 25 years of combined experience selling real estate joined forces to take real estate to the next level. We practice with honesty, integrity, and the knowledge to help make the buying and selling process easy and stress-free for all of our clients. We pledge to always make our clients our top priority from start to finish and even after the house is closed. We will always be a valued resource for information and assistance for our buyers and sellers. Our customers over the years have become not only past clients, but great friends. As we join hands together as the Property Sisters of the Mohawk Valley, we look forward to serving our clients and our community and making a positive difference. You can reach us at 315-601-9630 for all of your real estate needs.
All right, listen up, everybody. This is former Governor of California, Arnold Schwarzenegger. You're listening to the D-Line, only on Disruption Networks. That's the D. Do it now. Rah, rah.
Welcome to the D-Line.
Illegal contact! Number 51! Zinkutsu elbow thrust! To the up back! Orimawatsu roundhouse lunge kick! To the quarterback! Takatami insword block! To the... Shoot, never mind. 15 yards! First down!
Live football podcast on the Disruption Network.
You just got the feeling that he spelled the 8-hole and then got it in the end zone.
You find out life's this game of inches. So is football.
And now, here's your hosts, Chicken, Caleb, and Sil.
But they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook.
What's up, everybody?
Friends, how are you?
What's going on?
Evening. How you guys doing?
Welcome back to the D-Line.
Good. Another week of the NFL season down, man. We're one week closer to the midway point in the trade deadline coming up, too. Yeah, we got a week and a half on that one. Yeah. Just, 13 days. The trade wins, I feel like the trade wins are going to start a blow in here, so we'll see. I know you guys like things that blow, but...
I was going to say, talking about things that blow, I do see a Detroit Lions jersey on right here.
Oh.
Joining us again is our boy Matt Combs. How's it going, buddy?
It's good if you turn his mic on. Yeah, go ahead.
Wait. What are you on?
We'll translate for Matt. He says he's good. Matt says he's good.
Hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, they invite me on here, but they don't actually want to listen.
The Lions fan. I like it, though. I like it. What an up and down season for the Lions it's been, huh?
Yeah, it's like being a Syracuse fan.
No shit, right?
I feel you there.
It's a great way to put it. Like you come out week 1, and Matt Patricia looks like he shouldn't even coach a modified football team.
Right.
And then they come out and he just shoves it right up Belichick's ass week 2 or 3 or whatever it was. Then it's just been it's like a seesaw battle with that team, man. I don't know. I don't know.
Right. I gotta personally say the victory over New England I enjoyed.
Oh,
I quietly enjoyed. All my New England
I was a little
friends.
torn on that one. Like I was kind of found myself rooting for the Lions, obviously because everybody hates New England. But then you're like, oh, that's just division, and I'm like, but they're the Lions. You know what I mean?
Hey, that's why I wore my Barry Sanders shirt. Just to show I've been a fan since I was a little boy.
I'm Walter Payton is the #1 running back in my eyes ever. But I think the best pure runner is definitely got to be Barry Sanders.
Yeah, he was good.
You know what I mean? If anybody was going to beat Walter Payton's record, I wanted it to be Barry Sanders.
Right.
Yeah.
I think Barry Sanders holds the record for most broken bones from people trying to tackle him.
Yeah, that dude had a hell of a career.
That guy was amazing. I love watching old highlight reels of him.
Mm-hmm. Or just ability to stop, here, go, boom, boom.
Imagine if he had a team around him.
Right.
Yeah.
That was always the argument at that time. I used to always be like, well, imagine if he had Emmett's line. Because it was always Barry Sanders or Emmett. That was always the argument in the 90s.
Who's his quarterback, too, when he was there? Was it Jim
Scott
McMahon?
Mitchell.
Was it Scott Mitchell? Jim McMahon was there. One of the McMahon brothers, I think, was there toward the end of the career, too. I don't know. That's just...
Yeah, Scott Mitchell back in those days, and I think it was...
Did we have Pete Ward?
Yeah.
Sure you did. Yeah, him.
No, he's right.
Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah.
No, that's where a lot of players they sometimes in any sport they get crossed up with just who they're with and how they come into the league, and I think that's you look at the league, different leagues nowadays, and the ease that you can move in free agency to different teams and stuff. I think that would have helped a player like Barry Sanders, even though he was very loyal to his team. And I think that was kind of the mantra of the 80s and the early 90s was to be loyal to your team and stay with your team. But I also think it was because a lot of those guys didn't know what free agency was, really.
All right, so I got the list. Rodney Peete, Bob Galliano, Andre Ware, that's who you're thinking of, Eric Kramer, Dave Craig, Scott Mitchell, and Charlie Batch.
Yeah.
And the best one out of that was Charlie Batch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I thought Charlie Batch got a raw deal.
Yeah.
He played with the Lions.
He did great with the Steelers.
He was great with the Steelers. I thought he played well with the Lions, but they just didn't have enough for him.
Yeah.
And he ran for his life half the time.
Lions is one of those teams where they've always got some special players, but they never have the full package. It's always, a good offense one year or a good defense. Actually, I shouldn't even say that. I don't know if they've ever had a good defense. This year, though, they have a good defense.
Yeah, I don't remember.
The defense there looks really good. I mean, that's directly because of Matt Patricia.
When
think.
they first got Adama Sue, they had a pretty stout defense back then. But I just want to check in a couple people here. Adeline saying, giving a little hearts here. JP, our boy from the baseline, checking in, saying, "What's up, crew?"
Yeah, he's deep into baseball season, man. He's getting ready for a game tonight.
Oh yeah, they're full erection.
It's not half mast for them; it's full.
No,
we threw JP back out behind the bar last night at the Wakely's. We did.
Unfortunately, I missed that. I had to work, and I know Celia had things with your children, so unfortunately we missed that. But it looked like you guys had a great little time.
It was fun, man. It was a great time to get back there, and everybody was there for the cause. So everybody was, Adeline was throwing dollars over the counter, and I had to kind of pick him up in a seductive manner,
Oh, man. Wow.
I think several people
didn't have JP do that. Had you do that? Oh man, jeez.
Several people may have thrown up at that point.
Yeah.
But Dave Bennett wants to know what your BAC level is right now.
Mine? Fucking guy. I had one drink before I came here, Dave, so suck it.
And Eddie from EJA Moving is checking in. What's up, buddy?
Eddie, much love, baby. Much love. Much love. So.
Sorry about the Bills, bro.
Yeah.
But,
Are you a Bills fan?
No, I'm a Jets fan.
Oh,
our boy Eddie's he's a Bills fan.
You're with a Jets fan and two.
Bears.
Bears, yeah.
Yeah, I know he was Bears.
Unfortunately, I don't know if you saw what happened last week to those guys.
Bears. And we took a shit all over the field last week.
Yeah, it was tough.
Fucking God, I want to throw so many fucking things, dude. Normally games by Wednesday, the latest, I'm mad at games, but I'm still fuming over that non-offensive pass interference call and Eddie Jackson pulling up
Dude,
when he
you
went
and I
to try and
instantly
tackle.
were like, what the fuck is that?
I am so fucking mad. The fucking games in the NFL are so fucking rigged.
That game,
I am not. It's not even funny anymore.
That game came down to 2 plays. The fumble by Jordan Howard in the end zone changed the whole.
Well, Tariq Cohen's fucking fumble too.
Well, no. But that fumble going into the end zone, really hurt us. And then that
phantom pass interference.
Yeah, the phantom call on Burton.
Right.
And that took 7 points off the board. And then they went and immediately threw a pick. And then they went and marched down the field. And
the defense just decided to fucking no-show for that whole fucking game. I mean,
they really did.
That was just so uncharacteristic.
I've started to watch Bears games now because you assholes. So I kind of tuned into this game a little bit. And then also they're playing an AFC East team, and you guys fucking give life to this team that all you needed to do was just you didn't even need
just walk out of there with a win.
Stomping out a bear's neck. It's just stomping out like a fucking frog's neck. Just stomp them out. That's all you needed to do to the Dolphins, and they would have put their tail between their fucking legs against Brock Osweiler,
who had the game of his career.
Three TDs, 2 interceptions.
That was like.
But I'll tell you something. All you guys needed to do was just squish them, and they would have been fucking done for us in the AFC.
Who knew he was going to turn into Fitzpatrick?
Matt Nagy's 0-2 when he's got more than 2 weeks to prepare for a fucking game. This goes on coaching. The team was not prepared for any fucking kind of weather down there. I got guys losing fucking 12 pounds of weight during the game. That's horse bananas.
Yeah.
That's fucking. Let's load guys up with some fucking sodium before the game so they don't drop weight.
Yeah.
So they have energy in fourth quarter and overtime. The defense played like shit.
You're talking about overtime in fourth quarter?
Yeah.
They played like shit the whole game. Seriously.
We had a fucking 13-point lead. We had a 2 to 3 score lead at one point. It was just like,
what were they down at halftime? And what were they down at halftime?
7-0?
No, it was more than that.
No, it wasn't.
I think
from six touchdown passes to that was just tough to fucking watch, man. I mean, it was just tough to watch.
It was bad.
It was tough.
When you got
he had 3.
Albert Wilson running.
Well, that's nice. That's half a fucking 6 and he lost. He needed fucking 4. All right.
Thank you for making me smile.
When you got Albert Wilson running through like it was Tecmo Bowl, you know what I mean? Like
the AFC Player of the Week, by the way.
It was like guys couldn't even.
He's fucking quietly. Albert Wilson's been really good down in Miami. No one's realized it. It's just like we were talking earlier too. I don't want to get off this game.
I got more.
I know. We'll touch back with it. But Albert Wilson's been has been quietly doing it this year, just as much as Adam Thielen's quietly been doing it. We'll get back to Adam Thielen, but still, come on, go ahead.
Well, no, I was just going to say, all that shit talking that Fitzpatrick do. Now I'm going to start calling Fitz penalty because he had 2 pass interference calls.
He's
and I'm just mad at the whole Fitz magic copyright issue.
You're a big Ryan Fitzpatrick fan. I'll tell you something, and I said it last week, and I've said it a couple times I think on the show, but I've been very impressed with the job the NFL officials have done this year on pass interference. They've finally have gone away from the they're calling it as the guys play the ball. They're not calling it even if the guy is looking. Say I'm playing defense to you and I'm not looking for the ball, but I'm not touching you. I'm not impeding you. I'm not impeding you from getting the ball.
Right.
They for the last few years have been so trigger happy to call that pass interference. This year they're still calling it somewhat, and I say okay, that's fine.
But they got to make contact.
But it's got to intentionally stop them if they're not impeding the wide receiver and they're not looking at the ball, then that's just their fucking fault.
Right.
They can't get around fast enough.
Right.
So we've finally gotten to a point in the NFL, I've noticed, where we're finally getting away from that. It's great.
The corners, it is great because the corners finally they got to catch up. I mean, the offenses again, even this year, the offenses we're setting records.
Yeah.
You've got to let the defense play some defense. So I agree with you. If my arms are up, I'm not looking at the ball. As long as I'm not touching you, it's not pass interference.
It's my fuck up.
But you got to be looking at the ball.
No. I got to be looking at the. If I'm a defender, I have to. Oh, the receiver has to. But as a defender, I have to be looking at the ball if I'm going to touch you. If I'm not going to touch you, my hands can be up like this right in your fucking face.
But we're seeing them call it when guys are fighting for the ball at the same time.
Right.
And the defender comes in and like makes contact but is still going for the ball. They're calling that shit too. Even though the pass is uncatchable.
Yeah.
Right.
I've seen them still call it and it's bullshit because those aren't calls that should be made.
I've also seen two chicken. I think there's a specific play in the Packers game this past week that I watched the play when you're watching it from as an NFL fan from the TV and you're watching it from afar and you see the play and I was
your pants off?
Yeah. Well, at Swifties. I was like,
it wasn't.
I was like, wow, like that looked like pass interference, and then there was no flag on it, and everybody's like,
dude,
why?
Put your pants on.
Why aren't they throwing the flag? Why aren't they throwing the flag? And you look at the replay and you're like, wow, that's a great no call. Whereas in the past,
I think I know
in the past, you get those calls where it's like, oh, well, it looks like here it comes. They're just so quick to throw the flag.
But I think that's
so
on
quick to throw the game.
Most of the offensive plays. Because, I mean, last week, going back to that Bears game, Leonard Floyd got called for a flag. He didn't even make contact with the fucking quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
The mystery,
Jesus.
roughing passer call that he got. Didn't he even touch the quarterback?
Oh, this week he fucking power driv that dude, man.
As a Detroit Lions fan, you must know the feeling back when Rodgers threw that Hail Mary crap.
Yeah, they caught it in the end zone.
For that mystery passer, or roughing the passer call.
Yeah.
Like that's what I mean. Like they you come anywhere near the vicinity of a quarterback,
right?
They just automatically throw it. They're flag happy.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a shame, and it slows the game way down. It takes the intensity because we've seen it with the Kansas City game, how it affects the defense. He had Brady all wrapped up, thought Brady got rid of the ball, you know what I mean, because he stopped. Right. Yep. So he thought, forward momentum, and then, you got to protect the quarterback, and it's freaking Tom Brady because, God, if you breathe on him wrong, you're going to get that LeBron call. And so, like, he's got him wrapped up, then he lets him go. Doesn't realize Brady still has the ball, and he runs for another 4 yards. And but that's how it takes the intensity off the game. Years ago, he would have freaking body slammed him. Yeah, he would have rolled him over and body slammed him, and he's down. I hate them taking the intensity out of the game. I get it, CTE, blah 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 blah. Who remembers that shit anyways?
Concussions are down. Proven fact. NFL just released it today.
Yeah. Right, because nobody can hit anybody.
Right, but they're still not happy. They want it even lower.
Yeah, unfortunately,
you really can't have one without the other, in a sense. Without doing what you're saying, taking away that intensity, and it's all that fast. It's all raw.
Exactly.
Raw, quick thoughts. We've all played football. We played football together, and you're not thinking about it. It's just natural instincts. Right. And so it's the moment you have to start thinking about it, you take that one step, hesitate, a pause, and later it's gone.
I mean, think about those times when we're just packing a head of steam going across the field, looking at a guy. It's just like to think. I made the notion last week. I mean, to think about.
Sure, you got a head full of steam when you're looking at a guy.
When he's packing.
Ding it!
Wow, you actually made Caleb shut up. Wow. You may get invited on the baseline.
Okay. All right.
How you doing?
Good to have you here, Matt.
Yeah. I got you, bud.
How about my fucking New York Jets last week, though, boys? 42 points.
Wow.
They look fucking good, man.
That was a good game. I got to give them props on that one.
I'm excited about the Jets. I like what they've been doing, and there was a great article this week, and I fucking hate the Jets beat writer Rich Shamini. I can't stand the guy, but he put out this article this week that was how the Jets' regret of getting turned down by Kirk Cousins has turned into their success.
Yeah, right.
And it's so fucking true.
Oh, man.
It's so fucking true. Because fucking Kirk Cousins is pathetic. We're about to play his ass this week, all right? And what's he going to do? Maybe throw about 3 picks and maybe 1 touchdown? Because the guy's fucking overrated. As I've always fucking said, the writing is on the fucking
wall. You're talking about Eli?
Kirk Cousins.
Oh, you said overrated. I thought you were talking about Eli.
You can put Eli in that conversation too if you want. But I'll tell you something. My New York Jets look fucking good, and they're
that defense though, 34 points.
But hey, you know what?
The D coordinator's pill to swallow.
D coordinator's back this week, man. D coordinator's back.
He was out on medical leave.
Yeah, he was out for about 2 weeks on medical leave. But I mean, I don't know how you're right. Still, that is a red flag because Todd Bowles is a defensive coach. So that's kind of a scary, like, oh, fuck, what's going on? But I'll tell you something.
And it was at home, too.
But you know what? We got a home game this week, too, against a pretty damn good team.
Nunwe.
And then you idiots couldn't get
down in the next few weeks.
AFC, yeah, I know. You idiots couldn't get the AFC East win, to help us out, give us a fucking other
How the fuck do you think we feel? We had the fucking North all wrapped up with a fucking snowball like that fucking game. Sorry, softball.
Yeah.
Snowball.
Yeah, you're thinking.
College.
He's thinking. Used to snowball dudes in college.
But I'm loving where my Jets are at, and I think it's time to talk about the two most disappointing teams. Or let's talk about the most disappointing team this year in the NFL.
We talked about the Detroit Lions.
No,
They're actually not this year.
How bad?
That's the surprising thing.
How bad are the Oakland Raiders?
Oh, they're the most disappointing?
Dude, I think they have to be.
No.
I think they have to be the most disappointing.
He might be right.
I'm thinking the New York Giants.
Giants are close, but the Raiders, the Raiders were a good.
But you're talking about a team last year that had the second overall pick in the draft, so they were the second worst team in the NFL.
Yeah, but they
last
had
year.
like every single one of the receivers was hurt.
But just talking
including
on paper,
one of the best receivers in the
still,
game.
We're talking about a team who hired supposedly the messiah of coaching.
The Bills are pretty bad too.
Yeah, but that was to be expected. We'll talk about the Bills in a second. But man, the Oakland Raiders, they just have no answer. They just look helpless out there. They have no answer. It doesn't look like this team is inspired to play behind John Gruden. It doesn't look like it.
Well, I heard somewhere, and they're like saying that Gruden didn't come in expecting to play this year. And
exactly.
And what he's doing, win this year. I mean, and what he's doing is stripping down that team. And we've seen it happen with the Bears.
Right,
We've seen
he's making it his own.
Several other teams that the Browns just recently did it. They strip him of all the leftover shit from other coaches, and then kind of build that team in their own vision. So now he's got 2 first-round draft picks that he got from the trade with Khalil Mack, probably one of their own. He's probably going to make some other deal going on, and they're probably going to finish pretty shitty. So they're going to get a better draft pick going in. So now he's got a whole bunch of first-round draft picks. He's got room to make some room. He's going to free up that cap space, and now you got to bring in. How do you laugh at cap space?
No, you just like he's got room to make some room. I was like, he just double roomed me.
Silver's did mature.
I can't wait till I host next week.
Oh man,
fuck.
So now you got all these picks that coming in. Now, he's going to get groups of players. He doesn't need just one player. He's going to get groups of guys. You know, with all those draft picks. Look at what the Celtics did. Going to NBA with all those first round draft picks. Sure. Now you got room to make trades. You got room to pick the top guys. I mean, the Browns picked Baker Mayfield, and then picked
Denzel Ward.
Stellar players. You know what I mean? So now that's what you kind of got to do. You got to get rid of the trash. Maybe it's not all trash, but it's like heavy load.
I think you're right. I don't think it really is that bad. I don't think it's a total fire there, but at the same time they're not playing well. They're not finding it. They're not clicking.
That old line, David Carr's just running for his damn life.
Derek, yeah.
Derek. All right.
Derek,
damn it.
He looks like his brother running.
Yeah, he does.
It's not 2001.
No.
But yeah, it's just it's bad there. They just don't look like they want to be there. They don't look like they want to play. I mean, they're 1-5 and they're lucky to be 1-5. Because they should be 0-6. They squeaked it out against Cleveland. When they won by 2.
You're right. So, that was a great game,
dude. They're very.
That
lucky.
just shows again where Cleveland is. Oh, can I move on to Cleveland or no?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's go to Cleveland.
San Diego just showed they ruined.
Say who?
Oh my God! I'm way off. I'm way in the past.
Yeah.
The LA Chargers. Defense. Exposed Mayfield big time. I mean, he was just all over the place, just hopping on his feet back in the old Cade McNown days, making him look like happy feet. He couldn't stay in the pocket, and his out of the pocket passing is what, less than 40%. 86.4% of stats are made up on the spot. So
yeah. They are so. And quietly that brought the Chargers to 4-2. And I'm telling you, that's right about
my
where
Super Bowl pick is still alive. But I'm just saying that the Chargers defense exposed Mayfield and gave teams a blueprint for him.
Banjo saying Mayfield was also injured and playing with patchwork receivers.
I can't argue.
Yeah, the receivers were. He's right. He's right about the receivers. My takeaway from this game was how well. How good Melvin Gordon was, especially against that Browns defense. The Browns defense is very fucking good. There's no taking anything away from them.
LA Chargers, man, it doesn't roll off the tongues. They're sneaky good. You know what I mean? They're one of those teams that are like they got in last year. They sucked early part of the season. They were like 0-4, I think it was, and then they turned on. But that's their MO.
Then that Buffalo game.
They always start off slow. They always start off really slow, and then towards the end of the year, they're like lurking around the playoffs, and you're like, where the fuck does this team come from? This year, they're actually
that defense plays like that. They're going to go far.
Right, and they're actually not off to that slow start. They're actually playing really well early, which is kind of scary because once that team starts gelling, I think Bosa's coming back. So that I think they're just going to.
And that's the thing. Yeah, he's not there yet.
Right,
he's not there yet.
Yeah.
Once he gets there, they're going to wreak havoc, and that's a great division. I mean, between them and KC, and then Denver's one of those teams that they're wishy-washy.
Right. Yeah, you can't count them out yet.
Right.
I'm done with Denver.
The Jets just.
You've been done with Denver since the beginning of the season.
Yeah, when they decided to name Case Keenum their starting quarterback, I was done with them. So they're gone. They're 2-4. They're done. See ya. their season's over. Call it now. Denver's season's done. See ya. Bye. Thanks for coming.
See, that's why I like this show because
thanks for fucking coming.
We don't
see ya.
pity pat around stuff.
Yeah, I'm fucking done with it.
It says if your wideouts are fill-ins, you run two tight end sets and 2 running back sets, especially when you're talented at running back and tight end. Yeah, true, I agree.
Chubb did have a good game. Running the ball.
Yeah. I felt like the Bears last year when we were putting patchwork receivers in. You had a rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
I'm like, why not do more to Zach Miller and why not do more to what's his name there? Shaheen. And your running backs are your strength. So I totally agree because work from the inside out.
Mm-hmm.
That's what your strengths are. Don't try forcing a ball to guys that aren't really.
Who's out?
Yeah, never force your balls on guys.
Are we looking at long-term injuries in Cleveland or no? I don't know.
Huh?
I'll look that up. Never mind.
All right.
I'm just talking to myself.
I'm sure Dave will get it in a couple minutes.
Yeah, he'll let us know. Our Cleveland
resident Cleveland fan.
Right.
We have a Cleveland fan. We have a Detroit Lions fan and a Jets fan. It's weird.
It is. We're rare.
And 2 Chicago Bears fans. What?
Big Johnny's a Bucks fan.
Yeah.
I can see the Bears though. Back in the 80s, 90s, they were good.
Gaff is a Bills fan. Oh man.
You know what other game I wanted to talk about last week that all of us owe everybody out there an apology about because it was fucking embarrassing for us? How the fuck did the Dallas Cowboys score 40 points on the Jacksonville Jaguars?
The Jaguars are now they are the most overrated team in the past 5 years. They looked gross.
Wow.
Really? They looked gross.
Heavy, John.
No,
John, but I can go with it. I don't think about it, though.
The Jaguars bandwagon.
You had a few Falcons teams in that 5 years. That were
yeah. Okay. I forgot about last year.
The Falcons team showed up.
2 years ago, yeah, the Matt Ryan.
The Falcons team showed up, though.
No, they didn't. When?
What? They showed up 3 years ago. Then 2 years ago they sucked, and then last year they did good.
They went to that. Haven't they been every year to that?
Oh,
thing
that
they
infamous meltdown in the Super Bowl.
But when you let the Dallas Cowboys,
we're gonna hold the Super Bowl meltdown against them.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. Are you fucking joking?
Yes.
They fucking made it to the Super Bowl.
Okay.
They were the second best team in football.
You sound like
Don't
a Bills
use that
fan.
voice.
You sound like a Bills fan right now.
Are you fucking joking
You sound
right
like
now?
a Bills fan
You're
right
trying
now.
to hold. You're gonna say that they're disappointed because they fucking went to the Super Bowl and they lost.
Yes.
Get the
Yes.
fuck out of here, chicken.
Absolutely.
If that's your fucking gauge for bad teams, then get the fuck out. Are you joking?
No, I am not joking. You can go as high voice as you want.
He did go pretty high there, didn't he?
I was waiting for the head explode over there. That team was supposed to do.
Too bad you didn't. Can you record that? That should be a good snippet.
Right.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I'll get it up.
Are you kidding me? Look at me. He's done. Speechless.
But he's right. Anybody that loses to the fucking Cowboys by 40 fucking points, you really should reconsider staying in the NFL. I mean, that's Jalen Ramsey, boy, all the shit talking you do, and you just let that happen. My goodness. There's nothing to say about it. It's
Especially
just
when
gross.
there's no true one wide receiver, number one on that Cowboys team. Who scares you on that team? Nobody. Beasley?
No.
Beasley? I mean, come on. I don't understand how they didn't just beat the piss out of the Cowboys.
I don't know what's happening.
Oh, he's back.
Oh yeah, there he is.
How you doing?
He still thinks Sanchez is good.
The Patriots are a disappointment. They lost to the Eagles.
When you got a 21-point lead, yeah, you are disappointing. I'm sorry, but you're disappointing. When you could blow a 21-point lead.
That is fake news. Fake news, sad.
Fake news. How can you not be disappointed when you give up a 21-point lead in a fucking Super Bowl?
25.
Was it 25?
No, it's 28, 23.
25.
That's pretty
Thanks,
bad.
John.
Hey,
Thanks, John.
Anytime.
They were still there.
That's a meltdown. That's like,
they were still there.
I'm there for you, bros.
They were still there, though. They were still there.
Now you sound like a Bills fan.
Just so you know, too,
we went to
Cowboys,
4 Super Bowls in a row, dude. Like, we were the second best team for 4 fucking years.
Well, they were. They were.
Rock on, dude. They're so bragging like the Cowboys fans. Yeah, we went to the Super Bowl 3 times in the 90s. We haven't been back to the playoffs.
They haven't, have they?
Twice, I think.
Actually, they won a couple years ago. There was
Music City Miracle and then Jacksonville. That was last year against Jacksonville.
The Bills, yeah. But like even the Cowboys, I mean, they've been in what two times, I think.
2 times in the past 20 years.
Yeah, it's
see, and that's just as bad as Detroit. They've been there maybe.
Bandage is saying
once.
it's a mix. He said Rod Streeter is gone for the season. Higgins is dealing with a nagging injury and should be back. Willie's is out for a few more weeks after injury.
Surgery.
So surgery. I mean, this is maybe. I mean, maybe this is a team. Maybe this is a team that goes in. I mean, I think maybe this week is kind of a reckoning week for the Browns. Then, given that, because maybe it's a time to go and get, use a mid-level draft pick to get a veteran wide receiver. I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure what the pulse is there, but I mean,
but they have a vet. Oh, yeah.
They had.
I mean, Callaway
came away for nothing.
Callaway's been unbelievable for them this year. Antonio Callaway, there's a rookie, but he's been really good.
Don't understand why you would get rid of Josh Gordon and like to the New England Patriots.
It had to have been a locker room issue.
To the New England Patriots, who put a block on getting Garoppolo, letting Garoppolo go to the Browns. They said absolutely not. We're not getting rid of him. And so the Browns would get off his radar, and then they trade him to the 49ers. But then you go give him your best player.
Yeah.
Like, why? Why would you do that right now?
The Patriots were on their way down. They were on their way of maybe not even making the playoffs. And now they're on their way back up. And I'm so fucking mad because the Bears play them this week. And they're just hitting their fucking stride.
I know.
Yeah. Motherfucker.
They're getting scary. They're getting scary looking.
Well, they're always scary when TB12's under center.
Yeah, but now when you got Gronk, Josh Gordon, and Edelman.
They're all clicking at the same fucking time. And that fucking running back.
Sonny Michel's been good.
Yeah.
He's been really good, too. So, I don't know. I don't worry about the Patriots at all. I think they're a very good team. So,
no, you're only in the same fucking division. I don't understand how you don't worry about it.
I know.
I don't worry about them going down. I mean, they're always going to be a good team. I mean, they might lose this week, and then Michael get rid of the last 10 years of their success and just say, "Wow, they're fucking bad." Probably, So, how about the Rams though? It's like a fucking video game in LA. They're playing a video game in LA.
Todd Gurley
crushing it,
dude. How good is that?
Isn't that
team?
awesome? I've been watching all this stuff on that. I don't know how to say his name. Goff or
Goff.
Goff. Yeah, I can never pronounce it right. He's something else.
Yeah.
And he's so super humble.
Yeah.
Kid.
Well, and you know what, too? The great thing I think for him, too, was they kind of kept him in an environment he knew. He went to Cal.
Right.
So he stayed in California.
Right.
So
he grew up there.
Yeah. So it's an environment he's kind of accustomed to, and I really think that they've kind of grabbed LA by the balls, and the Chargers need to go back to San Diego because I think it's their town, and their games are just it's video game-esque. The way they're playing is just like it's like what you do when you sit down you play Madden with the boys on Sunday before football and stuff. It's just,
he's dropping dimes too, man. These balls are put in like perfect place where the receivers can go and run into the ball. Like it reminds me of
receivers just run under the balls.
It reminds me of when Kurt
you
Warner
just
was
love to get those things, don't you?
Yeah.
Balls
God
come
forbid,
out and he
God
finds
forbid,
a way to.
God forbid there was a serious conversation going on.
Cooper Kupp is going to be out this week, so
even and too. To be honest with you, Goff really wasn't that great last week. His numbers weren't.
No, it was the Todd Gurley show.
Over the top.
And that's the thing is, like you think about the way this team is set up. I mean, Gurley's like their Marshall Faulk. You know what I mean? And like those speedy receivers. I mean, Robert Woods is a great receiver. Cooks, and then you got Kupp. I mean, I know Kupp's hurt, but I mean, then
this is a good week for him to be off. Not that San Fran's not good. I mean, what they just did with the Packers in Lambeau,
but I think these guys got better defense.
Yeah.
Than that.
Well, it's a divisional game, so it's going to be close. I can't believe
that defense
the line is where it is, but yeah.
I mean, if you think back, they had some sack artists on that team, but they're very reminiscent of that, Kurt Warner team.
And the defense isn't as good as it could be with the Rams. once that defense starts clicking, look the fuck. I mean,
Once they are
it's early yet, but I'm. If they start clicking week 13, 14,
start clicking, and they're what 7-0, 6-0. They're 6-0.
Well, no, I'm saying the defense though. The defense is still letting up.
I know.
Is there anybody
they played good this week.
You think there's anybody in their division that could challenge them for the division?
No, unequivocally no. Unequivocally no.
No, actually, dude, they let up 20 and only won by 3 against the Broncos. The Broncos team you gave up on?
Fucking pathetic Broncos.
They fucking took it to them, man.
Fucking pussies.
I forgot about that. So.
Yeah, there's no shot. I mean, you're looking at a 1-5 Arizona, 1-5 San Francisco, 3-3 Seattle, and a 6-0 Los Angeles. I think they've won the.
Yeah, they'll wrap it up in 2 more weeks.
I know, right? and they'll wrap it up in 2 weeks, and then like week 13 and 14, they'll like fucking piss 2 away to like Arizona and San Francisco because that's how this division works. There's always upsets in that division. If there's a division that there's upsets.
That Seattle game was close. The next one will be close. I mean,
that division fights each other pretty hard.
Yeah.
Same thing with the NFC South. That's a close division.
Yeah. It always is, but with how bipolar the scores can be, the NFC West just takes the cake from you. You'll watch games where you got like Seattle being the clear favorite, and then I mean, how many times did Austin Davis or Case Keenum, when that bum was in St. Louis, or Nick Foles go out and I think they went 2-0 like 2 straight years against Seattle.
Yeah, the Rams.
The Rams.
Yes.
They were in St. Louis,
Yeah.
like right before they left St. Louis. It's just stupid. It's like wild, like so.
And fucking win all in fucking 5 weeks, but they they play Seattle and bam.
So let's are we all on board? I have to ask this. Let's go local here. Let's talk Gaff's team here. Let's talk the bomb that is in Buffalo. Are we all on board with the Derek Anderson decision? Because I am.
You have to be. You can't fucking ask Peterman to do fucking much more than at least they had a touchdown.
Yeah, but
this
what
week.
about Allen? Like, what's up with him?
He's out 3 to 4 weeks. He might be out for the Bears game. It's going to be close.
They're talking he might have to have Tommy John surgery.
Ooh.
And Tommy John's about 1.5 years recovery. So that would put him out the rest of this year and next year.
Ouch.
So it basically has I guess he's having. It's kind of like the problems Mariota had. But they think it's either they haven't really diagnosed if it's on the same level as Mariota or if it's a little bit worse.
Right.
But if there's basically the ligament in his elbow is just not. It's either loosening.
Okay.
Or it's just not being able to connect to his hand. That's what happened to Mariota. The ligament loosened, and then the connection to his hand was tough.
So basically, the 3 or 4 week timeline I saw is just to diagnose that.
No, I think the 3 or 4 week timeline could happen. It just depends on how they've probably done MRIs and scans in the elbow to see what it looks like.
Right.
This is a common baseball injury. That's why this is when you hear Tommy John, the baseball player, that's where it comes from. But this is, I will say, from a baseball perspective and from someone who, I mean,
what? Can I just say, fuck baseball? They got all the diseases.
Well, yeah, I know exactly. But in football,
I got you.
In football, when
Wait a minute, what?
in football when you're obviously throwing the ball, it's a similar. It's not the same arm motion, but it's a similar arm motion with the elbow. So. It's the same, probably going to be the same recovery process. So if you're in Buffalo, you keep those fingers crossed that it's not that, because if it is, I'm telling you right now, if this is the problem that this kid has, it could be the end of his career.
Yeah, and that's a problem too, because if he's out right now for a year, even a year, for a rookie quarterback who's just learning to get the ropes, he's just learning how to be a part of this team. Now you send him back another year, because then next year he's going to want to have to go through the learning, on that learning curve. If he's 2-3 years into the league, you got a chance to make a comeback. I think this early in his career, man, that's tough. Because then you get so quickly forgotten in the NFL.
Sure,
it's going to be a big setback.
I mean, he'd have to do quite a big stint in as a backup.
I mean, I don't think you would have to go any further than looking at exactly what happened to Teddy Bridgewater. Mm-hmm. Teddy Bridgewater was proven he was winning games, and he got hurt, and I mean, lost his starting position because they moved on from him, because it was the next guy up, and the next guy up was just that good, and then the Vikings saw an opportunity to get a guy that was just that they thought, which I think is a debatable topic, was just that much better than him in Kirk Cousins. So, like you said, it's a short life. It's not it moves by you quick.
Because Teddy Bridgewater was that question mark. They don't know how he's going to come back.
Exactly. And that's the same.
Almost happened with Drew Brees.
Yeah, with whether it's a knee or whether it's an elbow, those are the two. I mean, the elbow is the most important part of being a quarterback. So. It's going to be interesting there. I like the Derek Anderson move. I mean, I don't really know how you could go to Peterman. Really, I don't
know much about him.
Yeah,
I don't have much debate.
Derek Anderson was the backup for Cam Newton for a while, so I think he's just a veteran quarterback. I think,
but isn't that why they got the trade for what's his name? Oh, God, they just released him too. What the fuck's that kid's name? Came from Bengals.
Oh, McCarron signed as a free agent, and then they sent McCarron out at the end of training camp because they were going to go with Josh Allen. That's basically why. That's the open and close story on him. He's
right, but you brought a veteran in,
yeah,
to be a backup.
Well, they brought McCarron in to start, and then they got blessed with having Allen fall to them, I think, in the draft.
So now you have to go out there and get another veteran.
Yeah. So you go out and you get Derek Anderson for nothing. He's probably playing for maybe $2 million, and
yeah, but now you get him acclimated to the system. You had the other guy in.
Throw him to the fucking wolves.
You had him in training camp. Why not stick with the guy you had in training camp?
They worked with. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, who knows?
Why keep a guy who's got rapport with players?
Well, you know what the problem is, though. I think the problem in Buffalo too is the rapport is just so. Anyways, you have a lot of hotheads there. You have a lot of attitude there. I mean, Kelvin Benjamin is slowly proving that he's a fucking joke, and he's slowly proving that he's going to find his way out of town. And he won't even stay out for extra drills. Quarterbacks are asking him to stay out for extra drills to get timing right and stuff like that. And he won't even stay for extra drills. He's
no. You think they got rid of Tyrod?
If he does find his way out of town, I really hope he uses EGA Moving Company. Professional movers, 315-335-0516. They're competitively priced moving, relocation services, office moves, complete packaging and unpackaging services. They work with everyone and make it simple for you to move and relocate. EGAMoving.com. When it's time to relocate, have EGA Moving do all the work for you.
Sounds great, John.
I was hoping you'd get it. I slowed a little bit there. I slowed a little bit there.
Oh, that's an opening. Got it.
Dude, you threw me right off. I was like, whoa, what's he doing? I'm like,
who's
here for the gangbang?
Nice.
But yeah, a lot of people are going to be using EJA in Buffalo. A lot of people in Buffalo are going to be using EJA pretty soon. I'll tell you that, because it's not going to be pretty for a while out there in Buffalo, and there's going to be a lot of moving parts.
Who else is moving is Mike Smith.
Yeah, Mike Smith is gone in Tampa Bay.
Yep.
Oh, jeez.
He's out. I called that one a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, with what happened, you go to the Pittsburgh Steelers game, you go to the Bears game, and now this one. But this one, the fact that they picked this game, because this wasn't all his fault. There was a lot of missed tackles.
A couple of coaching.
A couple of untimed players were in the right place. They just missed tackles.
Right. You coach tackling.
Right. I can't argue that.
From a little kid.
But at the end of the day,
but they know how to do that already.
You're a coach. You're not on the field. You're not making the play on the field.
The offense,
you can coach and coach and coach and coach as much as you want, but you're not the one actually out there.
This team has been underplaying the way that the talent they got on this team. I mean, you got Jackson and Evans. And, I mean, they got a good team around it. They got some players on that team, but you consistently keep losing.
They were 3-1 to start the season off. I think if you're going to make this change, you knew this change was coming. Why would you make this change 1 week after the bye? Why wouldn't you make this change the week before
the bye? Yeah, or a week during the bye. I mean, I guess
what were you expecting? He was going to come and work his magic during the bye week and go from there. I mean, I understand that you probably give him the respect, give Mike Smith the respect, and Mike Smith's been a good coach in the NFL.
Right.
And Mike Smith was the highest highest paid coordinator in the NFL.
Right. I guess they're saying you had 2 weeks to prepare for this game, and you let up 31 points or something like that.
34, yeah. Well, his defense average giving up 34.6.
Sorry, 34 points. But I'm saying 14 of those points are on the offense.
Yeah,
they really are, because fucking interceptions in the wrong part of the field are guaranteed points for another team.
Well, I think you see this. I think you see Mike Smith go now, and I think on Black Monday, I think it'll be Dirk Cutter's turn. I think he's done too as well.
Really?
I think this is it. So. It hasn't worked. It hasn't worked in Tampa Bay. No. And as we've said, they've had the talent. He's had. I hate to say it, and I know he had his.
It's like they fired Lovey to keep Cutter, to groom Winston.
Doug Martin had his inner demons, and there's other talented players and stuff like that.
He was before Lovey.
Was he before?
But
yeah,
I'll tell you something. I think this is the end of Dirk Cutter, and
Who goes to Tampa then?
Gosh, who knows? Probably it'll be a young coordinator. I would imagine it's not going to be anybody like that we're gonna really know and be like, holy shit, that guy. I think it's going to be a young coordinator. Kind of. I mean, look at the revitalization that a lot of these young coordinators have brought to teams.
I think Dungy's coming back.
Yeah, right. Fuck that guy.
He's going to take on Chucky in the Super Bowl in like 3 years.
Right, oh man.
Fuck that guy. Fuck Tony Dungy.
Not a fan, huh?
If that Super Bowl, let's say that happens. If that Super Bowl happens, I'm not watching. Just to punch you right in the face.
My problem with Tony Dungy is he tries to act like he's the reclamation guy, and he goes out and he's all holier than thou and brings new life to some of these players and stuff like that. Well,
he's earned it. He coached well in Tampa. He coached well in Indy. Now, granted, he had a hell of a fucking quarterback in Indy.
Don't forget when he was in Minnesota.
In Minnesota, he was a winning defensive coordinator.
Okay, well, you guys have your own opinion.
I hear you though.
Yeah, I mean, he's only won a Super Bowl with
fucking
Indy.
guy has been the bane of my existence for all of his fucking career.
Well, he's been to Super Bowl, so I think he's overrated.
He's won a Super Bowl. He's won. He didn't just show up and fail. He won one.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not big on the guy's attitude nowadays. I don't really like him at all. So
he's earned the right to have criticism. He's earned the right to criticize. He's earned it.
He's earned the right to criticize
other teams.
Criticize people. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Because he maybe should look in the mirror.
100%.
He should look.
Did he not get criticized when he was a coach?
Wow, you take it personal.
I know, right?
I'm not. Hey, listen. If you're going to try to be out there and you're going to try to claim that you reclaim all these players' lives and stuff like that, you should start at home. Okay, and you should look in the fucking mirror, okay? Because he took too much time with players, and look what happened to his home life. Google it if you don't know what happened.
I don't know what happened.
His fucking son killed himself. Yeah. Okay, maybe you should look at the fuking mirror. That's my problem with that guy. Is he acts all holier than thou to all these players, and this is stuff he tries to do even after that whole incident happened, and that's a horrible incident. I'm not making any light of that, but you know what? I have a huge problem. I have a huge problem with people with people that try to say, "Oh, I'm the best person ever." Well, you know what? Look at the mirror
when they have their own demons.
And
I
look
get what
close
you're
to
saying.
you. That's my.
Do you think maybe some of what he's? I'm just curious. Question.
Yeah, sure.
Do you think if some of what he's?
Caleb wants to know if you're bi-curious.
What he's trying to do.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is
I
to
don't
make
even know
is
what
to
the
make up
fuck
for
I
that.
was going to ask. Yeah, thank
is
you.
to make up for that. Yeah.
I didn't even know.
I think it could. I think it could be, but I think a lot of the things that he lays claim to happened after or has happened before everything with the sun. I think you should, I don't know. I'm not a huge Tony Dungy fan, and it grinds my gears really hard when I see him. And he also failed with Vince Young.
He's posted on his Twitter that he's not a fan of yours either.
Yeah.
Vince Young?
And I know he doesn't really care about me. Yeah, he tried to reclaim Vince Young, and it didn't work.
On what team?
I'm not. It's not. You're missing the point with it.
Yeah, completely.
This is something. Tony Dungy is the guy that like goes and like takes players under his wing and like reinvents them. Josh Gordon was another one he failed with too. He like mentors them and stuff like that. Has nothing to do with
like Bernie Fine.
Has nothing. Has nothing to do. Well, he was coaching for a team when
or my piano teacher when I was young.
Exactly. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Man naked.
You want to put
in sports? In sports, take a look.
Perfect.
In sports, take a look in the mirror first before you try to throw shade on other people. That's all I'm saying. You know,
that's a good rule for life.
Wait. Are you implying that pro athletes and coaches aren't like the best fathers to their own families? I mean,
yeah, I am implying that. But we need to move on because everyone's missing my point.
Shaking now.
Everyone's missing my point because what I'm saying is when you portray yourself as that.
Yeah, but what does that have to do with being a good coach? Yeah, I mean, we're talking about his coaching.
That is coaching.
We're talking about his coaching career. You're taling about his personal life.
Yeah, I don't care about his personal life. I mean, personal life doesn't entertain me.
I'm not gonna. So I don't like Tony Dungy. I have my reasons.
So that Ravens defense just ripped up the Titans. I was it 11 sacks, 12 sacks?
They almost set the record. They were too short of the record.
It was.
Well, you were right, Sil. Sil, you were right. You were right about the offensive line. I was, and I tried to defend them, and I didn't think they were that bad. I really did. When I had watched games, I thought, they gave up us a few sacks here or there, but man, they were fucking bad.
It was so bad. I think it was 9 sacks in the first half, like that Giants and Bears game a couple years ago. I mean, it was so bad. They shut them out. the Titans are not the team they were last year.
No.
And the Ravens are just again another game with no fourth quarter touchdowns.
Yeah, I think the bye can't come soon enough for the Titans. I really think they need to get to the bye. And
are we
regroup.
buying the Ravens at all, or are they? We just
I predicted they'd make the playoffs. I did. I figured 9-7, but I think they might shoot over 9-7.
I think it's a good conversation to start having. I think it's a good conversation to start thinking about buying
playoffs.
I think it's time to start thinking about the Ravens.
Think about the playoffs, Maura.
That's a division right there. I mean, Cincy's in that division. With the Ravens.
Pittsburgh's still there, yeah. It's like
Steelers are they're all like that wishy-washy. They look really good at one moment, and then like
Browns aren't too bad. Browns have played all right.
Browns will be in the mix. They'll be that thorn in somebody's side at the end of the year, I guess.
You know what the Browns will be? The Browns will be that team where they show like week 16. They're like, well, the Browns can make the playoffs if Denver, LA, the Chicago somehow stands on their face. The Jets. Team flight has a delay over in Carolina.
Well, do you remember week 9?
Every stipulation in history to get into the playoffs. But
they had a list of like 57 things that needed to happen for the Browns to make the playoffs.
Yeah,
that was insane. We posted that, didn't we?
Yeah. But it's just shit like that. Like they'll be that team. They'll be that team that'll be there. It'll be more so than like past years, where past years there was just they were like, oh yeah, week 1. Oh, there's the kickoff for week 1. The Browns are eliminated from the playoffs by halftime.
It's the mediocre division. You know what I mean? Like that division, like nobody like clear cut sucks, but they're like nobody's like great. It's just that mediocre division.
Pittsburgh beating Cincy this week was a statement game for Pittsburgh, I feel, because it was in Cincy. I mean, Cincy's been playing great, but Antonio Brown, holy shit.
Yep.
Good football player.
Great game.
Good football player. He's really good. So, I mean, I could see why you would call them the mediocre division. I would probably call the South more of a mediocre division in the AFC. Just you never know who's going to come out of there, because the Steelers are always there every year that year. The Steelers are always there, I think.
I mean, the Ravens have been there quite a bit of too. I mean, it's usually Ravens and Steelers out of that division.
Yeah.
2 of them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when you push 2 teams out of your division for the playoffs, I'm in on that. So, shall we talk a little bit about week 7?
Well, what I wanted to touch on quick was back in March or April, we picked 15 games. Last time Matt was here. And they had a list of 15 games that looked good, so we picked the winners from back then. The Patriots at Detroit game, only 6 games of those 15 have been played. So I'll go over them quick.
Dr. Faggot.
I'll go over them quick. I knew it was coming. Fuck. Dallas at Carolina, which was week 1. Rams at Denver, week 6. Giants at Cowboys, week 2. Patriots at Jaguars week 2, and Minnesota at Philly week 5, which we all got wrong. We all picked the Eagles on that one. But I went 5-1. Matt went 4-2.
Not bad.
And Chicken came in at 3-3. So.
All right, I figured I would have been last on those.
Depends. Can you go fuck yourself?
And so last week's picks, Lenny, our listener, you are probably retarded. You went 5-10.
Wow.
Let's see. Caleb went 8-7. Chicken sheet ended up disappearing somewhere.
Yeah, that means I probably won, but still lost my shit.
Yeah, no, he never gave it to me.
Sounds about right, Bray.
And I went 10-5.
That's fake news.
Blubber there, fruity nuts.
Fake news. I'm calling fake news on that.
So now we got to re-listen to last week.
He happened to miss my sheet.
It's not like we can't prove it. We have the audio.
It's not like you're about
and
25
the video.
games out either.
I was only 3 games out?
Yeah, times 2.
As you took a dump last week, and I was the top scorer.
Where'd my pen go? Shit.
Yeah, probably up your ass with my sheet.
He wrapped it up and put it in his ass. It's on your computer. It's on your little flip book thing.
All right, I got
a little flip book.
All right, so make my
I'll tell
fucking
you,
picks
last week we I got all footballed up, man. So finally came up for the first game.
Yeah?
Put some chili on the stove.
That fucking chili was delicious.
Yeah, it smelled a little bad afterwards. Cause,
I'm sure.
Was it just
Captain Fartle out over here?
Was it just the 2 of you?
No. We had a few little crew going on.
Yeah,
a couple more guys.
But yeah, it felt good. Have the stew on, like the chili on. Watching
Getting that time of year, man. That's the football weather out too.
It was nice. I missed it.
So this tonight's game, Arizona versus Denver. This one's gonna be a good game to not watch.
These are the Thursday games I miss.
I don't know. I think this could be a good game.
Oh no, it could be a good game.
I think it could be a good game for some reason. I don't know. 1.5 is a wild line. I mean, I could have seen it like for 4 or 5 for the Broncos.
Von Miller made a prediction for this game.
Did he? What do you got?
No, he picked Denver.
Oh, really? That surprises me.
Guys are assholes.
We actually believe. I was genuinely thinking like, oh, what did this guy fucking predict? Like, let's see. Rosen's looked inconsistent. The Cardinals have looked inconsistent,
but their defense is good.
The Broncos suck shit. I'm going Arizona at home on Thursday night. Larry Fitzgerald, I think, has a game tonight.
I'm going with Arizona also.
I'm taking the home team. Yeah.
Gay robot in the house.
Word up.
Go ahead, get yourself back a game here, chicken, or lose one.
This game's so weird right here because
such a weird game.
Like you think, well, Cards. I mean, but then you think Von Miller. Right?
Yeah.
Von Miller's going to wreak havoc on whatever quarterback's playing right there right now.
I mean, they held the Rams to 23 points.
But you think the flip side, I mean, the Cardinals got a pretty decent defense, and they got a good running back.
Right.
And Larry Fitzgerald. Man. But I can't. It's hard to put your faith in the Cardinals. Denver at least has a pedigree of winning.
I still haven't circled anything.
You know what I mean? At least the Broncos have a pedigree of winning. They've been in the Super Bowls. They have like that team that's always competitive. They took it to Seattle. They took it to a few other teams. I'm going Denver.
When I was looking today, I saw it on the injury report earlier today for Arizona, and the one thing that kind of scared me a little bit was that a lot of their offensive linemen, which their offensive line is quietly pretty good, if nobody's really keyed into that. But I'm just trying to find their inactives.
They weren't good against the Bears.
Yeah, so like Ayupati's out tonight. Justin Pugh will play. So Ayupati's a big loss for their running game. But it looks like
they got guys named Ayupati and Pugh.
Mike Ayupati, yeah. Mike Ayupati's like one of the best tackles in the NFL.
Dude, I'm looking at these stats. I'm glad I haven't circled anything. The Arizona Cardinals have the 32nd offense versus Broncos have the 12th. And their defense is Arizona 24, Denver 27. Wow, that's hard to
Denver's
believe.
Defense is not that good, by the way. You guys are thinking of the Denver of old when Akeem Talib was there.
They still got some guys on there that can play.
Yeah, they got Von Miller and Chubb on the fucking D-line. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, my Jets
Chubb's having a good week. You know what? I'm switching my pick, and I'm going Denver on this one.
Soft.
Caleb's describing his penis.
All right.
Yeah.
Word up.
I would hope it would soft.
Yeah, it is. Don't worry.
I like to chew on things.
Okay, so we've got 2 Arizona and 2 Denver.
This fucking fruit fly's going to get punched right in the face.
Yeah, you tell him. Oh, boy.
I fucking hit the mic.
It's getting the best of you. He's still there fucking with you.
Wait. I just got one for Sil.
Pow, right in the kitchen. Pow, right in the kitchen. Pow.
It's John and Chicken's favorite time of the year again because they just love getting up at 9:30 on Sundays to watch games from fucking worthless London. So it'll be the Tennessee Titans versus the Los Angeles Chargers.
You don't like waking up to football?
I fucking can't stand it.
I cannot wait for Sunday morning.
Yeah, 9:30 a.m., baby. Woohoo. Shut up.
I'll catch it at halftime around 11. I don't care. I wake up, put on football. All right.
Or wake up, go out and find food, and then come back and look, football's on.
It's not.
And knowing my Chargers are going to go 5-2, hell yeah, I'm getting up.
It's not the timing that bugs me. It's not the timing that bugs me. It's the fact that you take away the home field.
Yeah. And the travel. The travel.
That's right. You never know which team's going to show up. You don't.
But I just, like some people are inspired by that crowd. They need that home team, that home win. That's what I hate because it takes it right out of there. Like you lose a home game, and I think that's bullshit.
Well, the Chargers are playing in basically a shitty Los Angeles field, anyways, so they're not losing much
from one soccer stadium to another.
Right.
So,
but on this one, I think it's clear cut. You have to go Titans, right?
No.
You have to go Titans, right? It's like a question. Are you
Caleb's
telling us
go
or
Titans,
asking?
Right? I'm going Chargers on
6.5.
Obviously,
6.5. I think is too much.
I don't.
For both teams traveling.
I don't, because they got a better running game over in the Chargers.
Oh yeah, I mean that's obvious. I think that,
and if you can keep it on the ground, I mean I think they'll run all over them. But then you got Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, Phillip Rivers has never intimidated me a day in his life.
I'm sure if he was right next to you,
he'd probably try to get me pregnant, just like fine. You know what? I'll go with the Chargers, but know that
I can't believe we had to talk him into that.
Know there's a bipolar. Know that the Tennessee's a bipolar team.
I think you should go on Titans.
No, Tennessee's a bipolar team.
I really think you should stand up for yourself and what you believe in.
Cheers.
Dave is saying terrible idea. Go play in Mexico, Canada, Latin America, the Caribbean, somewhere.
Canada's a great. The Caribbean from Dave Bannock. I like where he's going with that. Where the fuck are they going to play? But I like it.
Yeah, and like, what crowds are you going to get?
Hey, you know what? Fuck it. Go there for the fucking stupid ass preseason. All right.
It's like playing in Hawaii. You're not going to get any crowds.
Yeah, but I mean, fuck it. You're in Hawaii playing football.
I'd rather go to fucking Hawaii than England.
True. And I would still like to go to England.
But there's people in England, so if they can get them involved in the football, and then the idea is to eventually get them to bring teams into London.
Somebody said terrible idea. Go play in Mexico.
Can we stop?
How are they going to get over the wall?
10 feet higher.
Didn't they play in Mexico last year preseason?
They did, yeah.
They did.
Or was that regular season?
Regular season, yeah. The Rams play there.
They play in Mexico. They play in Toronto. Latin America and Caribbean, I don't really see that.
I don't want it in England because it scares me because that fucking asshole.
Play in New Jersey.
Go to Lake Placid. that asshole Shavad Khan that owns the Jaguars is like experimenting about ways that they would play their home games in England, but still be based in Jacksonville, and it made me want to throw up. Okay, because I think it's a fucking joke. Stop playing. We don't want football in England. Get the fuck out. The NFL. What was it? The fucking the D League of the NFL. Did you finally get it, John? Did you finally get it, John? Yeah. The fucking D League. What was it? What was the NFL? The NFL Euro League. The NFL Europe.
Yep.
NFL Europe sucked. Okay. Nobody wanted to be over there. All right.
Yeah, but they tried using it as like a developmental league.
It's fake news. Right. It's stupid. Just keep football in the United States of America, for Christ's sake.
Yep.
I'd rather see a new team in Biloxi, fucking Mississippi, than I'd rather see a team in England. All right, and I don't care. I don't give a fuck about those people. I don't give a fuck about fan base. All right, people here care about football more than any other place in this country.
You know where they should build a stadium?
Where?
Right next to NYE Volkswagen in Rome. Stop into the showroom at 5865 Tayberg in Rome and see why all their customers love their NYE VW. Mention Disruption Network and receive $250 off any purchase. Check out their inventory at NYEVWofRome.com. That's NYEVWofRome.com.
Yeah.
Good so.
All right. I like it. Think the NYE guys are going to pick the Chargers this week?
I would.
I am.
Are you picking? You guys are going to go with the Chargers?
Yep.
I'm done. I mean, you can't. I mean, the way the Titans played last week, and the Chargers.
They give a body of work.
And like
we
we saying, the Chargers are on a roll. I mean, I think they're a team that's going to compete with Kansas City in the West.
Mm-hmm.
Kansas City's rolling though. I mean, that's going to be a tough battle between
game
the two.
and a half out.
And I'm going to be. It's going to be interesting to see those two when they face each other.
Yeah.
And
well, they have, and KC won the first game, and that was in the Charger home field, wasn't it?
Right, but we know they're a slow starter.
Right. Oh yeah.
Now that they're on on all cylinders, be kind of we'll see how that battles out. But yeah, Chargers. Anybody else?
Who you got, Matt?
Chargers.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yep.
Across the board.
All right, the next game here, the Chicago Bears versus the New England Patriots.
Super Bowl rematch from a few years back.
A couple years ago in 1985.
Who won and who lost so we can call the other team a shit bums.
The New England Patriots are a bunch of shit bums.
Yeah, well, they won.
Tom Brady has owned the Bears over the past 18 years or whatever the fuck he's played.
I think this is a new team. I think this is a different team. But it's at home in Chicago. New England coming off a big win against Kansas City. I thought that was an awesome
great game.
That was an awesome game.
Snuck out of Foxborough.
Yeah.
With a win.
It was an awesome game. It's just 3 points I think is probably right. That being said, I'm gonna say Chicago gets it right. I'm going with the Bears this week. I think the Bears upset the Patriots, and I think the AFC East just because it's that much closer. This is your redemption, gentlemen. This is your team's chance at redemption for my New York Jets, okay? Because my Jets are going to win this week, all right? So we need a Patriots loss and help from you guys. So let's go, all right? Let's go Bears. I think Mitchell Trubisky gets it going again this week. 9 touchdowns in his last 2 games, all right? It's pretty fucking good. I think Tariq Cohen and Jordan Howard had a couple hiccups last week. I think they get back on track. I think that defense gets back on track.
I'm not worried about the offense. It's the defense that fucking scares me.
That game was riddled with mistakes. You know what I mean? Like, they're correctable mistakes.
Yeah.
It wasn't like they lost because they sucked. They lost because of dumb mistakes.
Let's keep it in mind too. We're not talking about a Chicago Bears defense that's riddled. Besides maybe Danny Trevathan, that's riddled with veteran presence. I mean, we're not talking about your mistakes are going to happen. Mistakes are going to happen. We're not talking about a Teddy Bruschi, Mike Vrabel, Rob Nankovich middle linebacking core for the Patriots anymore either. When their defenses were stacked.
Their defense is poor.
This is a young Bears defense, and I think they could come back strong.
They got to learn how to play without Mac. Like, he got hurt earlier in the game, and like he never fully recovered, and they just got to learn how to play without him. Like, keep the pressure on with the other guys that got on that team. And
right now they're treating Mac day to day, and we still don't really know. They taped him up during the game. He came in, but was ineffective.
I think that's an easier said than done task to say.
You have to though.
You do. You're absolutely right, Mike. You're absolutely right. But I think that's with what he's. I think that also speaks to the presence of why they made that trade. I think it really shows you like, wow, it really shows like it's the quarterback of your defense. He's the quarterback of your defense, as they've always said. And I think that's missed on a lot of just your average football fans, that what your middle linebacker means, or the quarterback of your defense. Exactly.
This is going to be another 34-30 game kind of thing.
I think it's going to be a shootout.
I just after last week, I'm down on the Bears, and you know what? It's like I don't want to go back to the Tampa Bay week, but last time I picked against the Bears, they fucking won big. I want to see that.
Can I dip them in your ass?
What? We're not talking about chips here.
So who are you picking?
I have no fucking clue yet.
What about you, Matt? What do you got?
I'm going with the Browns.
What?
Yep.
The Browns?
Yep, I'm going with the Browns because I just feel that
We're talking about the Bears.
Oh, you're still up there? See, I'm already marking things down here. Well, okay, so next round I'm going with the Browns. Okay, so.
Now will someone blow it on my face?
But I did mark the Bears. I'm going to take the Bears on this one.
Wow. 2 Bears so far, gentlemen.
I just hate the Patriots, so
I don't blame you on that.
Still?
Yeah, you're just in the same place I am, aren't you?
Well, I'm actually going New England. I'm actually going to New England because, I mean, after watching them get desecrated by the fucking Dolphins.
Yeah.
The Dolphins. And like, it's Tom Brady. I just have a bad feeling. I mean, one thing it bodes in our favor, it's in Chicago.
The weather plays no part because they're both the same weather.
Right, but I think the crowd. But you're talking about Brady. That's old hat.
Might be a smidge warmer there this week in Chicago. I would imagine.
So still no bearing whatsoever.
That it would be in New England. That's what I'm saying.
And without
cold, there.
New England's
snow,
clicking.
If
both defenses.
If Mac is iffy, there goes a lot of your pressure. You know what I mean? Like,
all right. Here's what's gonna. How is Khalil Mack right now?
Don't you love that changes your opinion about an entire team?
Right.
One player, you're like, how is Khalil Mack? What's he going to do? And that's totally right.
And
it's totally
true.
And
the thing is, and the New York Giants showed us that if you want to take down Brady, you got to apply a ton of pressure.
Mm-hmm.
You got to knock him around a lot early and often. And unless they can't get to him, then he's going to kill us.
Yeah.
And I mean, Trubisky's been playing great. I mean, what did he have, like 3 touchdowns last week?
9 in his last 2.
Right? That's insane.
And Allen Robinson, that's right. I forgot. Allen Robinson got knocked to questionable today. Khalil Mack didn't practice Wednesday, so he's questionable.
I feel like Allen Robinson's been more of a distraction.
No, he's been key
rather
in honestly, he's
selling packages. I think
and that's what I'm saying. Like,
instead of catching the ball, I think he's been like kind of the decoy.
They've been using him as the decoy, which I think is kind of like
I'm going Patriots.
It's kind of stupid because you haven't even established him as your number 1 yet. You know what I mean? Like, if he needs to build that rapport with Trubisky, so that he has that outlet that he knows he can go to all the time.
Yeah, Gabriel had a good week last week, but I see this. Yeah, 3 points sounds about right. 34-31.
Both of you just pick the Patriots?
Yes,
what
we
was
did.
that?
Oh my God.
No yawning in the mic, please.
Sorry about that, guys. Did both of you two just pick the Patriots?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, take the hat off. Take the hat off.
Hey, no. This is separate from my dedication. I'm gonna cheer fucking 100%. And if the Bears win and I lose on this sheet, who gives a shit?
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Who gives a shit?
It's like
I'll be happy. I'll be happy till next Thursday.
it's like people with like fantasy and stuff. They'll sit there and like you'll try to watch a game with them and they'll be like, oh fuck, like if it was your team, you'd be like, well, I really hope Tom throw a touchdown. If you're gonna score, throw a touchdown here. It's like, fuck you. No, I'm watching the Bears play. I'm watching the Jets play. If it's me, you know what I mean. I don't give a fuck what the rest of the other teams do. I don't care about my stupid fucking fantasy. I want to see the fucking boys.
I'll take
win.
guys out of the game that are playing against the Bears because I don't want to have to root for somebody against the Bears.
In situations like this is a win-win because I get to catch up a game on you if the Patriots win.
Yeah.
If not, fuck it, I'm down a game and the Bears won and I got a boner. You know,
Hey, John, sweet hat.
Thanks, gay robot.
I guess if you fist fuck me, we'll be even.
What the fuck is this?
So was Woodsie's all on there.
Okay, let's talk about Matt's Cleveland Browns going into Tampa Bay.
So, Matt, you're taking Tampa,
the
right?
Bucks.
Yeah, going with Tampa on this one. No, I am. Yeah, I'm taking Cleveland. I think that
You're down with the Brown, huh?
Yeah, not so much, but I think that their energy, that win, and they had a great game last week, but just couldn't.
I think they're a team that's on the cusp, but then again, we've seen this with the Browns last year. Even like they hold real close games.
Injury
you
problems.
You almost won. You could have beaten them, and then like for some reason they're losing games by 1 point, 3 points.
I think Cleveland's going to win this week. I think Tampa Bay is in shambles. I don't know. Maybe this coaching change is meant to light the fire. It could. I could look like a fucking idiot.
That's what I'm going with.
I'm nervous. I'm nervous about the Browns' injury problems. Wide receiver.
Go with the idiot part or the.
That's what I thought you were going, man.
I think Callaway's still a dude for them. I think Njoku's still a dude. I think Nick Chubb, to have Nick Chubb going and Carlos Hyde going at the same time, I think they're. Fuck, I'm going Cleveland. I think Baker gets back on track. So
I'm going Buccaneers. I think that shook the organization up, and the defense is going to try and right the ship.
Think?
So, yeah, I'm going Tampa Bay. They got too many weapons on offense. Granted, Cleveland's got a good defense.
I know this is one of those games. Like every time I pick Cleveland,
this is a good offense versus a good defense, and an okay offense versus a bad defense. So is that okay offense? Cleveland's going to do just enough to.
Yeah, but Cleveland's like hurt, a lot of injuries. I'm going Cleveland. I'm going to go Cleveland. I hate the Bucks. I don't know why.
This pains me. I really want to pick Cleveland. I do. I want to.
I think the Bucks would just like. Every time you bet on the Bucks, they're like the Falcons. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
You think you got them, you think they're doing good, and then it's like, boom, they just like shit the bed.
I'm going Bucks though.
You going Bucks?
Yeah. So what's three Clevelands versus me? All right.
Yep. I'm going Cleveland. Now we got the Miami Dolphins off their win against the Bears, and the Detroit Lions.
How are the Lions favored by 3 in this? Going away,
Who's quarterbacking for Miami? Is it Brock again?
Brock again? Yeah. Tannehill's out in a couple more weeks.
Maybe this is the team for Brock. Maybe Brock's the guy that ends up coming in, and
it might be the offense for him. I mean, it's Gase's offense. So,
like I said it last year. I think Brock Osweiler ruined his career by taking the money.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to say, like when somebody throws you that much money, so you're making a mistake. But I think that career-wise, he took that big money.
Yeah.
So he had huge expectations.
Right.
And he was only there for one season.
And he just was not a fit for that offense.
They never gave him a chance to even develop. And who knows if he stayed another
Well, for that kind of money, they're going to put that kind of pressure on you, and you're only going to get 4 games.
Right.
It's like
nice.
And that's like I think because of that, because they were paying a lot of money and they expected big returns early, he never had a chance to develop any kind of rapport with his receivers or anything. And then they shipped him out to Cleveland. He barely played in Cleveland. And and so nothing like cross talking when I'm talking on air.
Sorry,
like dick. But now, maybe once he gets to a system and actually settles in. Now, I think he worked with Gase back in Denver.
Yes.
So when I thought he should have stayed, in Denver, took the lesser money, and actually, developed that team. He had a great defense. He had a championship defense. They had an okay run game. All he had to do was not fuck up. And he already knew the system. And he came in from Peyton Manning and played really well to the point where people were arguing that Peyton should have sat for the playoffs, which I thought was retarded. You don't sit Peyton Manning in the playoffs. Right. But he's the guy that they benched Peyton Manning for. So he had some qualities there. But I think by moving him to different systems, different coaching, different towns, with different players, it just didn't. He never got a chance to actually develop.
So who are you picking?
I'm going with I'm going with Detroit. I'm going with Detroit. I think Detroit has more stability, believe it or not, which is kind of weird.
Well, Patricia does know he's played in that division. He does know how to play Miami.
Yeah, he
does know how to play Gase.
This is the roller coaster ride. These two teams are both on a ride right now. I really don't want to, but I did just circle Detroit. I think I really don't have much to say about this game, to be honest with you.
It's tough.
I'm going Detroit, but I could see this game. I could see Detroit blowing Miami out, and I could see Miami blowing Detroit out.
Here's what I want. Here's what's going to tell me what to do. Miami.
What is your mom calling again?
No, Miami versus New England in the years past in Miami. Which I can get. That's going to take too long.
There can't be a lot of results on that being crossed.
No, yeah. So basically, I'm going to minimize everything and go with my gut here, and I'm going to go with the home team. I'm going to go with Miami.
Interesting. Matt, what do you have for us?
Well, I'm going to go with the Panthers. Detroit, obviously. And I am going to play the favorite game. Because also I won't be here next week, I'm sure, to get my balls broke about the paper. So.
Oh, we'll break your balls still.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Chime right in, I'll listen.
But why are you thinking Detroit? What are you thinking here?
I think they're on a roll. And even though they are on a roller coaster ride, I've unfortunately have had to watch them my whole life. They've got a lot of fight and fire in them right now. And I think it's Patricia's first year, and I think that he's something good that they can all gather around, almost like a new fire. And I just like him over the Dolphins.
I like Golden Taint. I think
Golden Taint.
I think he's been one of those guys that he kind of reminds me of that Steve Smith, not as explosive as Steve Smith, but that tough wide receiver that'll go across the middle and make those tough catches, and you can rely on him.
He absolutely will. He'll take screens, this, that. He's kind of like that quiet player, but he's like a workhorse. He gets first downs, this, that, and he's been there for a while now.
Yeah, he's been there 3-4 years now, right?
It's gotta be more than that, maybe.
Right after Megatron, right? He was with Megatron the first, year or two?
Yeah, I think he played a year with Reggie Bush. Then Bush was there a year or two, and he left.
Oh man, I forgot they had Reggie Bush.
Yeah.
Who they got running now? Who's their running back? I know we got Blunt, but
the running back, it's Kerwin Johnson.
Thank you. Something like that, yeah.
That was always their downfall. They never really had that dominant back since Barry Sanders.
Right. And you want to say it's hard to compare anybody to Barry, but you would feel like going into Detroit that you would have this chip on your shoulder. That you'd have to, you gotta be better than you ever were. You step your game up, and
it's kind of like being a Bears, running back, and you're always held to the Walter Payton standard.
Exactly.
And you got Gale Sears and
right. Oh, you're good, but you're not as good as Barry, or you're good, but you're not as good as Walter. Right. Oh, fuck you.
Right. Who else is? Nobody.
Right. So.
This game's kind of a weird one. So who are you going with this on?
I picked Miami. Miami beat New England in Miami last year.
Wow, that's a good stat.
Well, Patricia was the defensive coordinator, so that's what I'm going with.
Detroit beat
that actually was a good stat. I take it back.
Right, Detroit beat New England.
Correct.
New England beat Miami in New England, but I'm saying in Miami, the home team
I see your logic, and home
team wins.
Again, rooting for or pulling for Detroit, like I said, it's like being a Cuse fan.
Yeah.
You don't know what team's going to show up with Detroit, and they could be up in the second half. They're going to blow it, or something happens. It's really hard to be.
Detroit's
a fan
had
for
some
them.
really good teams that never made the playoffs.
Yeah, it's always something. It's like they do good, either they're too late or too soon, or we just go 0-26.
Yeah, 0 forever.
Yeah, at least I can say we've got that record.
Yeah,
that one's not getting broke.
And at least
for a
nobody
while.
could call you a bandwagoner.
No, definitely not.
Definitely not.
I sat there and through all the losses, I took
John
it.
No, was Barry Sanders
right? John Kitten and his predictions.
Was Barry Sanders the reason you became a Lions fan?
I'd have to say yeah, because I was born in '83, and that was Ray. I think he start 85 or 86, something like that in the NFL, and pretty much that. And like I loved the colors, I loved everything about Detroit, but Barry Sanders had to be the main reason. I'd say.
I was gonna say, I mean, it's the Lions is kind of like a weird choice, especially.
Right.
I mean, I always get that with the Bears, but like, okay, so when I was a kid, I was like 8 years old, first getting into football. What was on the Wheatie box? It was Walter Payton. It was Jim McMahon. It was the fridge. You know what I mean?
Right. They were actually winning though.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And so like Detroit, like the only reason I could see anybody really becoming a Detroit fan was because Barry Sanders was so electrifying that like it was amazing.
I used to love to watch even like the highlights, and I'd have to say especially being a kid. Kids are easily you're influenced by one thing, not like this whole team is great, but it's like one person. I didn't care if they lost or won. I liked Barry,
and I think Barry had that talent that even today he'd be killing it because.
Oh,
he just that quickness of his feet and stuff, and the way he played the game is just nuts.
Nobody still runs like him.
Did you get a couple guys like that had moments like Shady McCoy is really close. Like he has some moves that you see that only Barry's. Yeah, that shake and the moves, and you're like, man, that was very Barry like.
I mean, I think Barry's his thighs though, his legs were fucking huge. They were bigger than his body. He could just stop on a dime and bounce.
Barry Sanders was an amazing talent.
Fucking loved him.
I loved him, hated him too. But it was again in that division, like that division. You being a Bears fan, you had Barry Sanders, you had what's his name? Just went in the Hall of Fame for the Vikings. Randy Moss, and what's his name?
But you also had Herschel Walker. Herschel Walker played for the Vikings back that time.
Yeah, but he wasn't really much of a factor until he went to Dallas.
Think so?
Yeah,
no. He came from Dallas.
Yeah, but once he went to Minnesota, he really wasn't that.
Yeah, he was better in Dallas.
He was better in Dallas. I got you.
Yeah, it wasn't that dominant. Then you look at like the Brett Favre years. Like in that division, you had Hall of Famers all the way through on each team. And then like, okay, they retire. So then like, okay, here comes Aaron Rodgers. Here comes, Adrian Peterson. Here comes Megatron. You're like, oh my God. Like, when are we going to get
Just fucking stop. Fucking want to go back to the 80s with fucking 1-15 Tampa and fucking 2-win Green Bay and 7-win Minnesota. Those are great years.
Right. Like, it's like, all right, finally get rid of these other guys. And like this new crop comes in and they're the best of the best. You're like, fuck,
sure.
What to get our dicks knocked in.
Speaking of Aaron Rodgers, see what he did last weekend or on Monday?
No, he did it again.
It was insane.
Right. He did it again.
It's like I would not to change the subject, but I would absolutely hate to be down by a touchdown in the fourth quarter against Aaron Rodgers because you're going to lose.
And that's what makes him an elite quarterback. Like if you feel that way with Eli Manning, like you got Eli Manning the ball 1 minute left. No, I'm like,
No, Aaron, you're like, oh, it's over.
Yep, Aaron Rodgers,
Game over.
Drew Brees.
He just
Brady.
sits there with a smile, like all like calm.
I'd even put
does it.
Russell Wilson. Like those are guys that you give them a minute left on the clock with the ball, you're like something's gonna happen.
Yep,
and it's scary as shit.
Yeah.
But let's move on to the next game. We'll do the Philadelphia Eagles and the Carolina Panthers. Who's going to take the ball here?
Oh man,
the Eagles are favored by 4.5.
Got back on track last week, so with a big Thursday night win. I mean, that was pretty dominant Thursday night win, I thought, over the Giants. So,
just a little,
yeah.
But it is the Giants,
yeah.
And they're in Philly.
And they had 2 weeks.
Carolina,
Philly did.
Yeah.
This is Philly bye week last week.
Well, Carolina had a bye week last week too, right?
No, they played. They lost to Washington. Remember?
Oh, right.
Are you 2 weeks ago right now, Sil? What?
No.
Wait, what?
What'd you say?
Who's here?
Who's on first?
Answer
the door.
Wow. Still's drunk.
No, the Eagles played last week. They played Thursday night last week against the
they did. They destroyed the Giants.
They had a bye.
That's right. I was right.
Ho ho ho!
It was so. I was thinking. All I had was Sunday in my head. You're right. Yeah, they played.
And
but
the Panthers. The Panthers lost.
Okay, so they've had 10 days to prepare for this game instead of 14.
And the Panthers lost to the Redskins.
This is tough for me. I'm going to go Eagles. I'm going to stay on my Eagles bandwagon. I think
Eagles myself.
Alshon came out and looked fucking good last week. Alshon really came out and played inspired, which is something that they really needed to get him back on track because he was hurt the first 3 weeks of the season. So him coming back was big for them. I think I think he only helps a guy like Nelson Aguilar get better as a wide receiver, and Ertz does his thing, and the running back situation's a question still.
Carolina's got a great D. I am surprised at the 4.5. I feel it should be more of a 3.
Mm-hmm.
But I do feel the Eagles are going to win.
Yeah, I'm going Eagles at home. Matt?
Also Eagles at home.
Wow, do I
chicken
step out of there and take the
Cam Newton?
I was thinking of it, but
this is a tough one because they're both that they could be really good one moment and but not as good as they were last year. Both teams I feel like aren't as good as they were last year, but they're still good enough to I don't know. So
says here, due to injuries and erratic weather patterns, the Eagles will finish a dismal 7-9.
What? You know what? Thanks, Gay Robot. I'm going to go with the Carolina Panthers.
Oh, he's going Carolina Panthers over the Philadelphia Eagles this week. So that's 3-1 right there. I think that'll be a good game, though, this week. I think it'll be right around that score that Carolina and Washington game last week, 23-17 in that neighborhood. So.
Eagles go 7-9. There's a good chance I'm going streaking down Clementia.
We're all going streaking.
Yeah.
Wow, that'd be gross.
Oh, man.
Well, at least in my underpants. My aunt does live right down the street here.
I'll bring my green hat.
The old green hat.
That's awesome.
We're going streaking.
All right, so let's move on to the Buffalo Bills and the Colts.
The Buffalo Bills go into Indianapolis as 7.5-point underdogs with new quarterback Derek Anderson.
Indianapolis. Can't get it out fast enough.
I think it's Indy. Indy's easy for me too. Even the injuries in Indianapolis. I think
Buffalo's got a good defense, and LaShawn McCoy, so they're always going to be in it.
That's okay. This is going to be easy.
Indianapolis. See how nice I'm being to Buffalo.
And I think too. Perhaps before we come on the show next week, I think Shady could be out of Buffalo.
Going where?
Traded. I don't know. I don't really have. I thought it was going to be Philadelphia, but I've heard that it's not going to be Philadelphia. But I really think I think they're going to move him because I think it's to the point now with him. You might as well get what you can.
Yeah, but do you think you're hearing Philly because everyone's just like, well, he's from Philly, they'll just send him right back there?
No, I think it's because it makes sense there. There's a need there too. I think there's a need in Philly for a running back.
Need here.
So I think he makes sense there. I think. Given that offense, I think he would also make sense there, given that too as well. So we'll see. I mean, it's kind of a bold statement, but I think if there's somebody that I really see getting traded, I think it's him.
I don't know. Why would you let your only weapon go?
Because he has no value to you. Because he's gone at the end of the year.
I get it. But I just let him ride out the season, get what you can for him, and while you're in the season now. Because otherwise,
but what's the point of getting?
What are you going to get? A 5th round pick?
Yeah, it's better than nothing at the end of the year.
Is it?
Yeah, when you have nothing at the end of the year. What's better, a 5th round pick or nothing? At the end of the season.
But you get them through the whole rest of the season. You got them through the whole rest of the season.
But your season's done. Your season's done in Buffalo. You have no shot. You have no shot of Derek Anderson starting for you this Sunday. If you think that if you're a Bills fan out there listening right now, and you think that the Bills have a shot. It even sniffing anything that resembles the word playoffs, and you have Derek
Please
Anderson
call in right now.
Yeah, actually, don't call in. Just stop listening. All right, because you're an idiot. You're a fucking idiot. All right, they're fucking done. They need to have a fire sale. I mean, they can't get anything for Kelvin Benjamin because the
fire
guy.
Sale, they get nobody to sell.
Well, that's exactly it.
I appreciate you just dropping our whole Buffalo market.
Exactly.
Well, he's a Jets fan. I mean, come on.
But we have something to play for. We might not make the playoffs, but there's still something to be played for in New York. The Bills have nothing to play for.
You're gonna play the NIT.
The Jets could make the playoffs. The Bills have no fucking shot. Derek, I want to reiterate the point that Derek Anderson, who was all but retired, was sitting on a couch.
Are you telling me the next Patrick Mahomes? No, go ahead, finish your.
No, Derek Anderson, who was sitting on a couch, who wasn't even good enough to be a backup quarterback in the NFL this year, didn't even get re-signed in Carolina. And you want to tell me he's going to lead the Buffalo Bills anywhere even resembling the playoffs?
It might.
No.
He might be the next Brock Osweiler. I mean, he might fit in that.
Nobody's saying that.
I'm still picking Indy. I mean,
nobody's saying that Derek Anderson is going to lead them to a
promised
playoff.
land.
But there's nothing to play for, though. So you get value for your players that you can get value for.
I don't know.
That's why teams have fire sales.
All right, so we are staying on this way too long. We're all picking Indy.
No. I want Buffalo.
Oh,
you going Buffalo? Why are you going Buffalo?
Oh, I got it.
Just to go against him.
Derek Anderson wins, and I just get a shoved right up my ass. This is totally the team you could do it against too. Okay, just keep that in mind.
That's how I pick these. Yeah.
All right, Minnesota goes to New York to face the New York Jets. Gentlemen, this is easy.
If this were in Minnesota, I'd go with Minnesota easily. But this is in New York.
This is in New York.
It's in Giant Stadium.
I get scared.
It's not called that anymore, is it?
No, MetLife Stadium. I get scared. One thing that scares me is, as we talked about him earlier, is Adam Thielen. Okay,
right.
One of the most underrated players in the NFL. Jets have cornerback problems, health-wise. So that's really kind of a nerve-wracking thing to me. I think the Jets' front seven
You still got that Diggs.
Thielen's not on the injury report right now.
Well, I know Thielen's going to play. I'm talking about the Jets' cornerbacks are hurt. The Jets have cornerback problems.
Okay.
And Diggs is pretty damn good, too. That's another good point. That's a great point. So that's really what scares me in this matchup. But the way the Jets have played, the way the offense has been clicking for the Jets, with an okay cast of characters, not the best. I mean, Nunwa going down is very, very detrimental.
Oh, yeah, that does hurt, yes.
That's what really killed them last year, too. So that scares me, but I really think the way that Sam Darnold's played and what the Jets have done,
Sam Darnold, the one guy that just you look at him, you want to punch him in the face.
Yeah.
Just I don't know. He looks like a or like a
sort of like Eli Manning.
Yeah.
And his deer in the
Dude,
headlights.
if that over 6 foot frame decided to come walking through this door and step up to you, I'd laugh so hard.
Dude, he'd be like, bro, what's up, bro? This is my mountain, dude. This is my mountain. It's my girl, bro. Stay off. He looks like every bad 80s movie.
Frat boy.
Yeah.
He's like the guy, what was it? Varsity?
Like his name is Ox.
He's like the guys who walk around He's like the varsity jacket kid from Varsity Blues.
Right?
He's like...
like I said, I'm going to go Jets. It is a homer pick, I will admit that. But I have games to give up. So if the Jets do, which I don't think they will take this loss, I'll be okay with it. If they win, I just extend my lead because I know you guys are going to pick the Vikings at the end of the day. So go ahead, John. Would you like to go next?
No. It's his turn to go first.
I'm going to take the Jets.
Oh, you need to be
They're looking good home and the home field advantage. And I don't like Minnesota.
I hear you.
The division team.
That's why I totally went first last time, so Chicken has to go before me this time.
Guys can't make decisions.
I'm going with the Vikings. I think they kind of got a ground game established last week with Murray, just running like a beast last week.
Good point.
And that adds just even to more of like a return factor for Thielen and Diggs.
Yeah.
Now the corners can't just play on the receivers. And I think Kirk Cousins is, a better quarterback.
Don't do it.
I think he's right now in this stage of his career, he's a better quarterback than Darnold. I think he's more proven. He knows how to get the ball to the playmakers, and they got a good enough defense on Minnesota to really wreak havoc to the Jets.
In the end, Darnold's a rookie still,
right.
and
Exactly.
Very good defense in Minnesota.
And losing one of your key targets hurts this week.
The Jets have a
the line is it should be like 2, but I am going Minnesota.
Okay, 2-2.
So the Jaguars versus the Houston Texans.
What a game! What a weird game this is going to be.
This is a weird game.
This is like this is such a huge game for both these teams.
How the Jaguars are favored by 4.5 points because that suggests they can score points.
They're a division leader.
Aren't they on a roll?
No, they got creamed
No, they got
last
crushed
week.
last week.
That's what I saw. It was just
No, I'm sorry. They're in third.
Texans
3-3. They are.
Didn't the Texans win last week too?
Yes, they beat Buffalo.
Wow.
And Jaguars got destroyed by the Cowboys.
This is such a weird game for me.
And Houston beat the Cowboys.
Right. So, I mean, you do your math and carry the one. This should say.
I'm going to go ahead and pick Jacksonville.
You're going with Jacksonville?
Yeah. I'm giving them another chance. I think that they get back on track on D. I think that's going to be a man. You know what the one thing about Houston is they just don't have anybody that scares me running the ball. Okay, the wide receivers are good, very good. They've got 3 good wide receivers there. Deshaun Watson hasn't done it for me yet.
Jacksonville is nothing without Fournette. Nothing. That's the key here. That's what we all have to see is they're nothing.
Is he not playing
nothing. I'm actually, and you know what? Houston's defense is J.J. Watt's having a fucking field day lately. Yeah, no, I'm going Houston. Fuck that 4.5 point line.
Well, okay, John.
And
fuck that line.
Yeah,
especially when he's going against a Blake Bortles. I think you can rush him into some mistakes.
Yep.
You know, like apply a little pressure on him. And, disguise some blitzes. I think you can. And Houston. Like you said, Fournette's not there, so that means they're going to pin their ears back and really just go after the quarterback.
Yep.
I'm going Jacksonville because I want to believe Jacksonville gets back on track at home. Like I said, Deshaun Watson has not made me a believer yet.
He's hanging onto the ball a little too long. He really is. He's not taking off like he should.
Here's a crinkle for you. Mm-hmm. Jacksonville beat the crap out of the Giants, and Houston lost to the Giants.
There's another crinkle. This is why I fucking hate parity in the NFL. It has no place in the NFL. Major League Baseball, fine. Basketball, fine. Hockey, fine. Parity in the NFL sucks ass.
I can't look at that. I can't look at what I can't look at body of. It's hard for me to look at body of work like that. I mean, I look at body of work of how players have been playing and stuff like that. But it's very hard to That's why I have to move myself away from what happened to Jacksonville last week because I think it was just a straight up embarrassment. Mm-hmm. So I think it changes.
But is it?
I think it motivates them a little bit.
An embarrassment, the switch, or is it?
The downward spiral.
Is it a sign of what the team is?
I don't think it's a sign of what they are. That's a good way to put it. I think that's the way you have to look at it.
I think they are what their record says they are. I hate to quote Denny Green. Yeah, that's right. It's Denny Green.
I mean,
right.
tied for first year division is fine with me then.
But here's the thing, like
Denny Green
with Jacksonville, like this is where this is the game where like okay. Was last week an anomaly? Is that the game that like wakes you up and says, okay, now we got to dig deep and play? Here's a team that we can beat. Can we go out and get it? Or are they that team that you just got embarrassed and got crushed and they just kind of go down that spiral where people just lose that inspiration and they're just like...
They're not the same team without Fournette.
And they have like disruption in the locker room. And I guess this is kind of one of those games where they will tell you if they can pick it back up or not. And if they lose this game, they're gonna shit this season.
Right,
I think so. I think this is a critical game for them, especially because it's a divisional game.
So
the only holder.
You love how he didn't answer me.
The only holder though is I don't think for either of these teams. Unfortunately, I don't think it's the kicker for either of them because these two teams, along with Tennessee, are all tied at the top of their division.
Right, but I'm talking like morale.
Morale, yeah.
Okay. I feel like if Jacksonville loses this game to a team like Houston. I feel like they're going to take that to heart, and I think it's going to cause like problems amongst the team, especially when you got loud guys like Ramsey and guys that are trying to make their way in the league. Where I feel like the Texans could actually bounce back because they got a lot of veteran leadership in that team. I'm going Houston.
Okay,
I'm going to take Houston. I think I would take Deshaun Watson over Blake Bortles, especially going against those defenses. Jacksonville looks like they're vulnerable on defense. They didn't look like if Dallas can score that many points on Jacksonville's defense, again they could come back firing away and go.
All right, yeah, no, this
crazy.
I could be 100% wrong. That's fine.
Then again, when you got the weapons that they have at Houston, and they got some great guys on defense. I mean, J.J. Watt, you got Merciless, you got Clowney, they got some players. I think their defense is better than Jacksonville's offense right now, especially without Fournette. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's why I'm going Texans.
Okay. Bet.
Jaguars. I'm gonna take Jaguars. I think
All right, 2-2.
Being at home, maybe they get their shit together.
I like it.
My answers are simple. I can't go too in deep like you guys do.
John?
I already picked Houston.
Okay.
I went on my rant 10 minutes ago.
2-2. All right. The Saints go to Baltimore to face the Ravens. The Ravens are 2.5-point favorites with the Saints, I believe, coming off the bye, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Also coming off Drew Brees
record setting the Monday night record,
Yeah, so I guess maybe I'll start with this. I'm going to take the Saints just because that I feel they're going to have this new energy.
They're gaming.
Yeah. It sounds stupid, but football works like that. Or sports work like that. It takes one thing.
They get that swagger.
That's it. It's just this little niche, and that's all it takes. And then you're all like, oh, everything starts working on all gears. And I could be totally wrong. They could show up to Baltimore.
Ravens got a little, they got a little swagger to them now too. After beating the piss out of.
I'll second the Saints motion.
And the Ravens are always tough at home. Their defenses are always the crowd. You go there, but
I think the Ravens give up their first fourth quarter touchdown. I'm going Saints here.
Yeah, that's a good point. Week 7, that'd be a hell of a time to.
That offense is just. Right now, unstoppable.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you're not going to get 9 sacks on Drew Brees because they're going to run the ball down your throat. I mean, Ingram's back playing with full head of steam.
Yep. He'll get rid of it.
Kamara's a beast. And then just as soon as you think you got those guys set up, then you got Drew Brees. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, when Drew Brees gets overlooked in this offense, you're like, wait, what? And then the guy scored he makes that 500th or whatever it was that game winner,
40,000th yard
record
passing
breaker,
or whatever.
Yeah,
he does
60-yard touchdown.
A touchdown.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's just like
he's another fourth quarter guy.
Yeah, Drew Brees. I mean, you can't bet against him. So I'm going Ravens. No, I'm going going Saints.
So that's all four. Huh?
Well, I mean, now
this game's going to be close. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. No, I think the Saints are going to run it.
Really?
I think they're going to blow them out.
Ingram, because it was Ingram's first week back or 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
For that. So.
I think they're going to just.
Another player who's very underrated, kind of an Adam Thielen type too, is Michael Thomas, wide receiver there. I think he's another guy that doesn't get as much love as he should, and I think it's because notoriously the Saints have just had wide receivers where it's kind of like, hey, here's your cast of characters, here's 5 random fucks that
Marcus Colton.
Yeah, exactly. Here's 5 randoms and take your pick. But Michael Thomas has really made a name for himself, and he's really played well. And I think it's it obviously a lot of credit to Drew Brees for that. But yeah, I think the Saints. I think it'll be a close game, but I think the Saints beat the Ravens here. So, and I could be surprised they could go the other way too. So
after watching them a couple weeks ago, they look like the Saints from last year. They got Ingram back. So they got that 2-headed monster going, and it just felt like they were back at it. The defense seemed a little more energized, because they're just beating the shit out of people on the ground. Mm-hmm. So I feel like this is that turning point for the Saints, and I think when you give Sean Payton and Drew Brees an extra week to prepare for a team, I think they're just going to destroy him.
Yes, right.
I think they're going to come out with some cool shit that you haven't seen yet. So that's what I think. I think it's going to be a blowout.
They're going to find that hole in that nasty Ravens defense and exploit it.
And here's a Thanksgiving Day game: Redskins and Cowboys. And I'm going to actually go on a limb here, and I'm going to go with the I'm going to go with the Redskins.
No, I've been made a believer. I was wrong.
Really?
I watched that game last week, and I'm starting to believe in that team. I mean, they're just somehow getting it done with a cast of characters that I have no idea who they
which
are.
Which team are you talking about here?
With the Cowboys.
Oh, the Cowboys?
And I think the Redskins, yes, they did have a big win against Carolina last week, but I think the even bigger win was in Dallas. And I think they ride that wave, even going to Washington. NFC East, I don't get so caught up on where games are, especially the NFC East teams. I don't really think it
doesn't matter with the Giants.
Yeah, it's too wishy-washy. But I'm going to go with the Dallas Cowboys this week, going into Washington and winning, just because I think they ride that momentum. I think last week was huge for them. I don't think that offense has a drought. You can often see teams score big points and then go into a drought. I think they keep rolling.
But I don't I look at this and like an understory in this game that nobody's really talking about is Adrian Peterson used to rule the NFL when it came to rushing. Now everyone's talking about Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now if you're Adrian Peterson, this is a game you want to come out and be like, you know what, I'm still here. Mm-hmm. And it's the divisional rivalry game. And I think what we're seeing Adrian Peterson because there's a team that actually believes in him. they're standing behind him. Like the past 2 years, they were kind of like so-ran teams. Like the New Orleans wasn't really using them the right way, so they ship him out to Arizona, and they're kind of like, well, just do this, Yeah. And you knew he was going to be gone as soon as Johnson got back, So where's that passion, that run? You know what I mean? So now you bring him to Redskins. Who's pushing behind him? Like who are they grooming? He's the guy right now. Like right now, he's their guy, and he like we seen last week. He's running like he's the guy.
Didn't he get hurt last week?
No.
I thought Chris
he was questionable last week.
Is that what it was?
And then he ended up coming in and had a great game.
Oh, okay. I thought I heard something.
And I think he can come out with something to prove. And I like their quarterback situation in Redskins way better than I like it in Dallas. I think Alex Smith gives him a better opportunity to win because that's what he does is he wins. So
you're going to Washington? Sounds like
Washington.
I'm going to Washington. Divisional game. Home team, that's it. That's basically it. I mean, it's going to be close, but yeah.
I was going to go Dallas, but Chicken really kind of sold me on the Redskins, to be honest with you. You got some good points. So I'm going to take Washington.
Okay.
Cool.
Do we need to talk much about this next game?
No, I'm going to L.A.
It's too bad for the 49ers. What a tough 2 weeks. 9.5 is way too much. I think it will be a little bit closer.
Beathard played a good game last week.
Beathard looked good, man.
He looked, I was shocked that he kept the pace. I mean, it took another miracle from Aaron Rodgers to like win that game, but he had them fighting. I mean, they took it to Green Bay. Granted, Green Bay is not quite the Rams. Yeah, you got to go with Rams.
Yeah, I'm going Rams.
Rams.
Yeah, it's kind of an easy one.
Yeah.
This next one's going to be a good game.
We're done with that in like 30 seconds. I didn't even have to look up.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Cincinnati Bengals go to the Kansas City Chiefs. And Chiefs coming off that tough loss against New England, so they're going to have something to prove.
Yeah.
And Cincy's been on a roll, man.
Yeah, they lost last week, though.
I know, but they've been a tough team. They've been
they've
very
been
competitive.
They've been tough, yeah.
I just don't think they have enough for Kansas City. Especially at Arrowhead.
I don't think Cincinnati's defense is good enough to stop all of the weapons in Kansas City. I think it's going to take a top 5 defense to stop all those weapons. I mean, I don't think so much too. I mean, you can judge by the score obviously with it. I don't think so much that there was much in the way of defense played on that game with the Patriots. So. I mean, they scored 83 points combined. So,
and that's what, with Kansas City, you almost got to say you got to get in the shootout with them.
Yeah.
And I don't think since he has the weapons to get in the shootout with Kansas City.
Maybe, but I'm not pulling. I'm not. The chips aren't behind me. Aren't going to be behind that bet. They're going to be with the. Hey, if you made that bet, I'd be like, hey, you know what, Mike? I could make you feel good about that one. But I'm not. I think you're absolutely right. I think so I'm going Kansas City easily. I think Mahomes has a day this week.
Playing out of his mind.
God, dude,
even in the loss, he played great.
It's at KC, man.
Andy Reid just identifies quarterback talent, man. It's incredible what that guy's done. So I'm going Kansas City.
Going KC.
Me too.
Tom's checking in. He says Dallas won against the Skins at the Skins the last 5 games. Sunday will end it. No, he says Sunday will be 6 in a row.
Yep. Amen.
I don't know about that.
They're
going down.
All right, and on Monday Night Football this week, the New York Giants will go to the Peach State and play the Falcons in Georgia.
Are you a sports announcer somewhere?
No.
You've got the voice, but you're way too good at this.
Because he can't pick out talent for to save his life.
Maybe so. Right? every time he gets going like that, right? I start looking around, like to see if you guys.
What are we playing?
Yeah, exactly. Then it's him though.
And in this
second career.
It's not probably a bad one.
So Falcons against the Giants. This
Jersey.
Giants team, I said it last year, and I'll say it again. They should have gotten rid of Eli. I know everyone thinks, oh my God, it's sacrilegious. Get rid of Eli. Kirk Cousins would have been a perfect fit in that Giants offense. Eli looks lost. He doesn't know what he's doing. He can't run. That O-line sucks, so he can't get away from it. They need a guy that can get outside the box and throw on the run. Saquon Barkley looks freaking amazing. Like, probably, to me, looks like the best running back in the league right now. I mean, that guy's insane.
He's good. He's gaming.
Yeah.
They did break tackles in that last game against Philly was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like,
he was the only bright spot on Thursday night last week, I thought.
Right.
Only
Well,
bright
and
spot.
that's because Eli can't get the ball to Odell. He can't get the ball to anybody besides the other team.
Yeah.
He's just been playing like garbage. Can Giants fans finally see the light and say, fucking Eli sucks? Like, it's like he sucked for so many years. He just was hidden behind strong running games, great wide receivers. Look at all those plays that we herald for, over Odell Beckham making in Cruz and those guys making these athletic catches because Eli's off fucking target because he's playing shitballs. That ball that freaking Tyree.
Are you telling me you're agreeing with Martellus Bennett right now?
So they caught the ball with his head because it was a shitty pass.
It was a shitty pass, and if he hadn't caught that, it would have been one of the biggest blunders. Oh, what a joke! What a pass!
Intercepted by
but instead,
Harrison.
it was one of the greatest plays.
Right, and like so he had a horseshoe fall out of his ass a couple times.
I'm not a fan.
You look at his stats. I mean, his interception ratio is unbelievable. Those years that they won. I mean, what we looked up here on the D-line last year was like 20 in like 07 and 25 in 2010.
Right.
He sucks.
Yeah.
He sucks. I'm sorry. It's time to get over it. He's not his brother. He's not even close to his brother. He's not even half as good as Philip Rivers.
You're close to your brother.
Like, but with that time, with that team and with that O-line,
saying chicken like
if you put a quarterback that can actually scramble, that can actually get out of his own way. I mean, what's he throwing passes like 5-10 yards? You got fucking Odell Beckham. You throw it anywhere in the vicinity of this guy, he's going to catch it.
Yeah, he
with
can't
Beckham
run.
and Saquon Barkley at your disposal, and then you got guys like Sterling Shepard, who's pretty good. Like you got Evan Ingram. I mean, they got guys that can play. But that O-line sucks, and Eli is tripping over his own fucking feet, man. Like, get rid of him. Eli's experiment is done. I mean, it's 10 years past. I mean, he sucks. Be done with him. And
so Atlanta?
I'm going Atlanta.
I'm going Atlanta.
Kind of a disturbing thing too for the Giants is, I mean, at halftime last week, Odell just walked off.
2 seconds. He needed hydration.
But now you're like,
we just got the ball back, and I'm trying to bomb the ball to the end zone with 2 seconds left.
Right.
As a head coach,
especially when you got a guy like Odell Beckham.
Probably would want my best wide receiver.
He need a little high quality H2O.
I think he's a prima donna.
He is. You're right.
Yeah, but
I fucking can't. Mara went off on him. The owner went off on him, and then Martellus Bennett is saying, "Why are you guys talking about Beckham when you should be talking about Eli?"
And in that instance, he's right. Yeah. It's Eli. So you can say Beckham can do whatever, but at least Beckham's showing up. He's making the plays when he's given the chance. It's Eli who can't get the ball to him. And that was the problem last year. Eli couldn't get the ball to him. Eli's checking down. Eli's just dumping off. You got a guy like freaking Beckham and Saquon Barkley are probably two of the best in their positions. I mean, I put Odell Beckham up there with Antonio Brown, with Julio Jones. I mean, he, given the opportunity, can kill you. And it's the same thing with Saquon Barkley. I mean, that kid, I wasn't a believer until I watched that game last week, and I was just like, holy shit.
No, dude, he's awesome.
This kid is amazing. With that much talent and you're still dropping games the way you are, that's on the quarterback. I'm sorry, but that's on the quarterback. He's throwing interception after interception. He's getting sacked. He's fucking terrible.
Agreed.
He's garbage.
You've convinced me to go with Atlanta.
Right?
Thank you, chicken.
Wow. Appreciated.
Yeah.
It drives me nuts.
You just saved me a pick.
But yeah, it's unbelievable.
Has anybody looked up the Giants' fourth quarter numbers?
The Giants have phenomenal fourth quarter numbers.
Not this year, they don't, Gay
No.
Robot. I just want to
Stop living in the past, Gay Robot.
I just want to let everybody know that Saturday, November 10th, Disruption Network presents Thank You for Your Service and You're Welcome, comedy fundraiser at CNY for the CNY Veteran Outreach Center. It's at Wakely, 700 Varick Street, Utica, which I will be bartending tomorrow night at.
You're bartending at Wakely's
I am
now.
bartending. I am moving on up.
Wow.
Moving on up to the side.
I will be there. Bartender last night for the Real Men Wear Pink, which we are still accepting donations. Please get your send us a couple dollars here, guys. We got to hit our mark. We want to, it's all to save the boobies. The D loves the bees. Help us out. But on the 10th, we're doing this comedy show. It's going to be hosted by Genesee Joe from The Drive, which is really cool. DJ Ease One on the turntables. Performances by Mike Saccone, Paul Kozlowski, Cortland Clues, and our very own Michael Alfred Pileggi. Admission is by donating clothes, supplies, or small monetary donations at the door. All proceeds and supplies will be to the CNY Veterans Outreach Center. Doors open at 7, shows at 8. Just want to thank our sponsors, NYE Volkswagen in Rome, Paulie's Barbershop. That's where I get my haircut done. Paulie, my barber could beat up your barber. He was an MMA fighter and
okay,
himself.
I'll give it to him.
Yeah.
The girl I was banging in high school, she has nothing on him. So yeah.
92.7 The Drive, Frank's Guns, and CNY Seal Coating and Concrete. Thank you, guys.
All right, we're going to do the quick fantasy focus.
Yes, let's do it.
Okay. All right. I put my notes away and thank you, Silbreth. Okay. All right, guys. So a couple of fantasy notes, best lineups that I can give you this week, in my opinion. All right, let me get down to my notes here. Really, John, you really fucked me.
Bunch of goddamn nerds.
Okay. So here we go. Todd Gurley and Robert Woods against the Rams. I like both of them all day, all week, all the time. That team is just so good. All right. I like Michael Crabtree this week. The Saints cornerbacks aren't that good. All right. So look out for that. Michael Crabtree's a good play this week. I also like.
Wait, who's Michael Crabtree on? No.
Baltimore.
Oh.
Baltimore against the Saints. Yes. I'm going to the well here. If you have. If you want to play a stack play this week, it's really sketchy, but I really like it for some reason, and it's Tom Brady and Josh Gordon against the Bears, all right? Because I think that's where the only place the offense comes from in that game, really, because I think the Bears easily shut down with their defense shut down the running game. So that's where I'm going. And let's see, D-wise, what did I have? Oh, I like Jacksonville.
Really?
Yeah.
Boo.
I'm going Jacksonville.
Boo.
Really?
Yeah.
Boo.
Yeah, Jacksonville.
For your defense?
Yeah.
Who are you staying away from?
I'm going to stay far
from Derek Anderson.
Far away from either the Patriots or the Bears defenses, all right? Because you never know what's going to happen in that game. I'm not even touching anything in that game. I do not touch anything in the Bills and Colts game, all right? No players, no defenses. I don't care if somebody tells you that you can have them for no money. Stay far away. It's not going to benefit you anything. Take a chance with other games and spend your money there.
That Bears-Patriots game is scary because, I mean, we see Mitch Trubisky throw 9 in the last 2 games.
It's just you get scared of those points. I mean, I also wouldn't. I don't sleep on Mitch either.
This is a game, and I've said it before, and this is a game where I feel like you grind out with Jordan Howard. Yeah. Watching that game last week with against Miami, Jordan Howard to me reminds me a lot of Frank Gore. The way they run, the way they're always trying to get positive yardage.
Frank Gore.
Frank Gore,
don't hold back.
I got to give him props, man.
Frank
Holy
Gore is
Jesus!
One of those guys. I think his entire career, you kind of, even when he was in San Fran, you kind of forgot about him as one of the top running backs, and he's like quietly sneaking into like Hall of Fame level, and like you forgot about him, and he destroyed us last week.
The fact that he's still doing it. I mean, again, you said this last week while we were watching the game. Somebody gave him a chance.
Right.
And he's taking advantage of it. Where other players retire, Des Bryant, fucking
Forte,
Kelvin Johnson, guy's not Kelvin Johnson,
but like he reminds me of
retired.
He reminds me a lot of
Ocho Cinco,
Chad
Johnson.
The way Howard runs is a lot like the way Gore runs. Low to the ground. Get to that. Always getting positive yards.
Yeah.
And if they can run him that way, they have a chance against New England. But if not, I don't think you want to get in a shootout with New England.
Nope. I think it's gonna be a high-scoring game, gentlemen.
Another one in the books.
All right, go Jets.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Later, thanks.
All right, we'll see you next week. Bye. Let me get this stuff right here.
You're there on Friday night, soundbite?
Thank you for your service, you're welcome. A comedy benefit show for our veterans. In support of the Central New York Veterans Outreach Center. On November 10th at Wakely, 700 Varick Street, Utica, join Disruption Network as they team up with 92.7 FM The Drive for this night of laughter. The evening will be hosted by Genesee Joe from The Drive. Performances by Mike Ciccone, Paul Kozlowski, Cortland Cluse, Mike Pileggi, and DJ Ease 1. Admission is by donation only. Please bring clothes, socks, gloves, non-perishable food items, or a small monetary donation. All donations will go to the Central New York Veterans Outreach Center. Saturday, November 10th at Wakely's on Varick Street. Doors open at 7 p.m. Show starts at 8 p.m. Thank you for your service is sponsored by The D, 92.7 FM The Drive, Paulie's Barbershop, NYE Volkswagen of Rome, Frank's Guns, and Central New York Seal Coating and Concrete.
So you just bought your dream home, and now it's time to move. Let's face it, nobody likes to move. All the packing, unpacking, lifting, upstairs, downstairs, and broking everything, including your back. Let the professionals at EJA Moving Company take all the stress and pain out of your move. Competitively priced moving, relocation services, office moves, and complete packing and unpacking services. They work with everybody to make it simple and easy for you to move and relocate. Call EJA Moving Company at 315-335-0516. When it's time to relocate, have EJA Moving do all the work for you. Hit them up online, ejamoving.com.
Hey, Disruption Network. This is Mike Sacco, the general manager at NYE Volkswagen of Rome. If you don't know me by name, it's only because you have not received the best deal. There's only one reason to leave Utica, and that's to come see me in Rome and get the best deal on your next new, pre-owned, or certified VW. Mention that you heard this ad from Disruption Network and receive $250 off your next vehicle purchase. You'll know why our customers say, I love my NYE VW. Come see us at 5865 Rome Taberg Road in Rome or visit us online at nyevwofrome.com.
The Property Sisters of the Mohawk Valley was born when 3 top producing agents with over 25 years of combined experience selling real estate joined forces to take real estate to the next level. We practice with honesty, integrity, and the knowledge to help make the buying and selling process easy and stress-free for all of our clients. We pledge to always make our clients our top priority from start to finish and even after the house is closed. We will always be a valued resource for information and assistance for our buyers and sellers. Our customers over the years have become not only past clients, but great friends. As we join hands together as the Property Sisters of the Mohawk Valley, we look forward to serving our clients and our community and making a positive difference. You can reach us at 315-601-9630 for all of your real estate needs.